Yes, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat Cape gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah. Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? This one you back today.
The essence of this gathering is to acknowledge the fact that today the legislative bloc of the Union Party is Alliance have agreed to work with Honorable Musa Ability of the CPP. We have come over a merger to make sure that both bloc end up producing the leadership of the House. In detail will accompany later. Thank you.
The perverted use of American power by bureaucrats in the landscape of international diplomacy has led to rising anti-American sentiment around the world. Treasury and state designations have a critical role in changing behavior in Africa and around the world. Their misuse or their overuse can pose problems for America. Sanctions cannot and must not be used as a tool to destabilize a democracy such as Liberia or to weaken an opposition. 7 persons receiving designation in the space of 3 years from largely one side of the political divide in a country that is both a democratic and has more recently become a macroeconomic exception in West Africa should tell U.S. cabinet secretaries, U.S. congressional leaders, and U.S. presidents that something is afoul and requires a holistic review. I hope in fighting the injustice that has been meted out to me and my family, I can contribute immensely to perfecting the use of American power for the greatest good of the world and of humanity. I thank you. The mining sector confuses me, but I believe this reference pertains to my involvement to developing a multi-user gateway to the third-party amendment of ArcelorMittal's current concession and through granting real access to HPX High Power Explorations Incorporated, an American company owned by American billionaire Robert Friedland, looking to transport rail from Guinea through Liberia through the port of Buchanan. I say so because about a year ago in Washington, D.C., I received a hint that persons connected with the American company HPX were trying to get me on Treasury sanctions because I was allegedly and supposedly, quote, favoring ArcelorMittal Limited over HPX and preventing HPX from accessing the rail to conduct its investment in gaming through Liberia, unquote. My informant knew this was unjust and unfair. Knowing the role I was playing on the Inter-Ministerial Concessions Committee and understanding the difficulties and complexities of the negotiation, to a panel in the United States describing what would eventually be a visa restriction imposed by the U.S. State Department. The glow of my morning transformed into a gloom of a pitch black evening. And this information had finally succeeded. This was my initial reaction. I could only feel sorrow for my wife and darling little children. Of the Department of State Foreign Operations and Related Programs Appropriations Act 2023, the United States hereby publicly designate Twe, Chie, and Nukwe for their involvement in significant corruption by abusing their public positions through soliciting, accepting, and offering bribes to manipulate legislative processes and public funding, including legislative reporting and mining sector activity. As part of this action, their immediate family members are also designated, including their spouses Delisha Berry Twe, Abigail Chie, and Ruthoria Brown Nukwe, and Twe and Nukwe's minor children. The above verdict against us and our respective families is unbelievably unjust, unfair, and a fundamental violation of our rights. As a Minister of Finance and Development Planning, I have never abused my position through soliciting, quote, soliciting, accepting, and offering bribes to manipulate legislative processes and public funding, including legislative reporting and mining sector activities, unquote. I have never done so whether in dealings with the national legislature or in dealings with any other branches of government or institutions of government, of the government of Liberia, or with private sector actors. As Minister, my job is to provide approved resources to the national legislature upon request, subject to the availability of cash. I have never influenced, quote-unquote, legislative processes, whatever that is. The perverted use of American power by bureaucrats in the landscape of international diplomacy has led to rising anti-American sentiment around the world. Treasury and state designations have a critical role in changing behavior in Africa and around the world. Their misuse or their overuse can pose problems for America. Sanctions cannot and must not be used as a tool to destabilize a democracy such as Liberia or to weaken an opposition. 7 persons receiving designation in the space of 3 years from largely one side of the political divide in a country that is both a democratic and has more recently become a macroeconomic exception in West Africa should tell U.S. cabinet secretaries, U.S. congressional leaders, and U.S. presidents that something is afoul and requires a holistic review. I hope in fighting the momentary injustice that has been meted out to me and my family, I can contribute immensely to perfecting the use of American power for the greatest good of the world and of humanity. I thank you.
Mr. President, action points reached during our meeting. The JPTT resolved unanimously that come Monday next week, the joint inauguration committee will present the comprehensive budget of the ensuing inauguration. And that budget will take into consideration all of the activities with respect to the inauguration, from pre-inauguration, the activities up to post-inauguration, taking into consideration invitations, number of invited guests. So all of that will be handled. We also resolved and mandated the General Steering Committee of the inauguration to convene in a meeting on Monday at 11 o'clock in this Caesar Dennis Auditorium for the purpose of receiving the comprehensive budget from the committee and deliberating on this budget with the focus of bringing our recommendation to submit to the JPTT. In light of that, the JPTT that convened today will convene its next meeting.
For a witness to come and make submissions on record of court. The court allowed me under the authority of Judge Whitney. He allowed me, and he said, that the wall of battle touched his skin. And just in case anything happens to him, the defense counsel in person of Amara Sharif should be held responsible. While making that exception, I look at Councilor Sharif was saying something like that. There's a coaching kept looking at me. Before that, when we are on the direct, I also whispering to Councilor some questions to ask the coaching. Because when you are on the direct, only one lawyer is supposed to talk. So, because I kept giving Councilor Sharif questions to ask the coaching, based on that how long when I left, I sat down and was facing me, he kept looking at me with his eyes. Eyes contact is another way of communication. Then I did my hand like, why are you looking at me yesterday? Why are you looking at me? Then he said, when he did it again, he see. And I take that as a major threat. You know, and what baffles me, after that, I raised my hand to bring this threat to the attention of the presiding judge. He never gave me the opportunity but to say in open court that I'm disturbing while my life has been threatened by a witness. Who can understand? This is a murder case, and people like my counsel, and we need a lawyer representing the defense counsel. Our lives are also tied to it. But because of service to the nation, we have decided to offer the pro bono services to Justice Scott and her family. We know our lives have been threatened. So for the judge not to protect me, later on that submission was made by one of my colleagues right closely. And I think it is good that he raised that issue, and that issue was brought to the court attention in another form and manner. But this is what I have to say. I got to put all my life is in the hands of God. When I told God to become a lawyer, I told God to do the right thing. I will not be threatened by Major Coty. You know, we're not sleeping. And that is the reason why the CDC level have lost this election, because they are there to threaten the lives of people. And I'm not taking them for granted. I'm going to do an official communication to the county and to the across the county that my life has been threatened by Major Jefferson Coty.
So what's the term? Why are you doing this?
I'm doing it out of proportion because Major Coty is not an ordinary person. If he was an ordinary person today, we wouldn't have had U.S. tension on him based on his growth in corruption, based on the human rights violation. This is the person that is on sanction by the U.S. And this is the person that we want to take a step as a minor theft. It's not a minor theft, it's a major theft. And that's why he's on sanction, and that is the reason why I'm going to do an official communication to the county attorney that my life. And to say it, I will see.
So you also raised the issue about the judge not shedding Nigeria.
Yes, yes.
And now concerned about what the case
Oh, I think your personal, my personal case that everyone,
where the country Courtroom Intimidation,
I will file a formal complaint to the Nigerian National Police. I will file a formal complaint. We want to tell the Liberian people that we lawyers, we took oath to defend the truth. The truth. Let justice be done to all. And that's the reason why we, the Defense Council, believe that Justice Scott and her family are never convicted of murder. And that's why we are put a letter to represent her interests. And we are above political practice. I'm a former lawmaker. I'm above political practice. You can't scare me for me to withdraw from the proceeding. No. I will end the case and my life is in the hands of God. Thank you.
so how soon we expect the communication?
Yeah, very soon.
Okay, folks, what a way to welcome you to another edition of the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. I want to say thanks to all of you across the world, those of you here in Liberia who always make up time to join us on this platform. You engage in the comment section. Some of you just get angry listening to the different views on your radio and watching your TV set, and that's the beauty of it. And I appreciate all of you for your continuous contribution to what we do. And so it's great to be here again tonight. My name is Nelson Colette with another edition of the Late Night Show. Of course, the rest of the team is here. This edition of the show promises to be great. Just sit back, grab a cup of coffee if you can. Share the program as you come on. So we have a fascinating show here tonight. Let me bring in our co-moderator first, Mobile Zoka. Thanks for joining us. It's good to have you here. How are you today?
Well, I'm fine, Nelson. Thank you for another day. And we tell Almighty God, thank you for giving us another opportunity in life.
Another opportunity in life.
Yeah. As we breathe.
The
natural air. Not the artificial the one use. Oxygen.
The oxygen. I just got carried away by that. Another opportunity in life. Thank God for giving us another opportunity in life.
Every day I gotta come with new words, new phrase. My sister,
welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nelson. I'm also glad to have another opportunity in life too, to be here. Thank God.
In life, eh? The guy brought mobile brought gentle guys. You guys took the gentle guys and the man brought life.
I can discuss about that gentle guys even in the chat room. When we conference call gentle guys.
Gentle guys.
She ain't Raymond.
Princess, welcome.
Good morning. My first complaint, Nelson, please go into the comment section and block this guy called Joseph Barker. I think he's a
I've done that already. I've done that.
He's just cursing as soon as he came on.
And I've deleted all of his comments and stuff like
that.
Mental
state of manner there.
We're not going to tolerate unstable mental behaviors. We have lots of people who follow this show, and yes, we just have to do our best to be as polite as we can. Raymond, welcome to the show. It's good to have you. Josh, thank you for joining us. Hope you're not coming here to tell us secret again tonight. He said, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me? Raymond, what's going on? I see your back. I still see guys in the can be all.
It's not a I'm an activist, so the fact that we got bad roads in Liberia, my intention is to keep raising the flag on the issues of bad roads. This new government campaign
Are
on the
you a
issue
bad
of
road medicine or bad road
improving our road network, and that's going to
Advocate.
improve the living condition of our people immensely. So I will
Hmm.
keep raising it as much as I can so that the government put our resources to work, and the life of the Liberian people can be better.
Yeah.
Roads are
So yeah.
essential.
Okay. Okay. So it's a good thing to be here again. Let me see. Okay. So I would really appreciate if we can all mute once we're not speaking, because there seem to be some terrible feedback coming through. I don't know where it's coming from, but I just hope we can try to do that so that um, it doesn't turn out to be a terrible one here for us. But again, today is a great day. I don't think we have the time to do the what's on your mind. We are going to move straight into our talking points. But today is a great day. Um, we have lots of happenings, and since the recent list of sanctioned officials of government came up, there have been reactions to that. Uh, some of those officials have been taking up their time to react individually. It's not the case, of what we saw with the resignation of the three officials of government, talking about Minister McGill, the NPA boss, and the Solicitor General, where the three individuals did a single communication and signed it. No, this case is different. We have a situation where the folks are coming out, they speaking for themselves, and there are other people who are equally speaking on their behalf. So, um, just the other day, we were discussing the response from Senate Pro Tempore Albert Chia. He sharply reacted to that. He declared himself innocent, though he's yet to have his time in court, and be able to exonerate himself through the legal process. But he has declared himself innocent. He said he didn't do anything of such. We saw another response from um, uh, 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 um, Chief Siri Allen. We discussed that. We talked about that. Though he's not on the list, but he said he's living a better life in Liberia than 60% of the people who fight to go to the US and stuff like that. So the sanction doesn't make sense as far as he knows. He's living here in Liberia. He's living better now. And then Mayor Jefferson Kochi, on the other hand, has come up to react to that in a way. And today, the latest reaction came from the finance minister Samuel Twe, and we've been playing that. He said that, I mean, the same thing. He has declared himself innocent. He said he didn't do it. He sees this whole thing about sanction as a way of the United States government wanting to clamp down on opposition, to silence critical opposition voices ahead of a Bwaka administration in Liberia. He thinks sanction is very pivotal in shaping the way political actors comport themselves in the political landscape of the continent, not just in Liberia, but the continent at large. But he sees what's happening in Liberia specifically as a way of the U.S. wanting to silence critical opposition voices, and he also expressed some deep regrets over the fact that this is affecting his children, his little children, his wife, and all of those people who have been enlisted as well. Well, so those are some of the happenings, the reactions with respect to this whole sanction thing. So it's a running thing. We're going to keep talking about this, the different reactions coming up every single day. We will certainly keep talking about it. And well, on the flip side, we have some other happenings in the country. There are other happenings in the country as well. Well, the officials of government, as per the code of conduct, are supposed to declare their assets when they're entering their asset. They're not assets. Their asset when they enter into government, and when they are promoted and when they are exiting. So, as part of this process, the institution responsible for this, the institution to which all of those officials are supposed to declare, has sent a caveat that they are going to very soon post or publish the listing of officials of government who have failed to declare their assets. Because as they are leaving government, by law, they should declare how much they live in government with. And then you compare that to how much they enter into government with, and then comparing it to how much they live in government with, then people can be able to make some fair judgment from there. But they express satisfaction over the way a lot of government officials are trooping in and declaring their assets. They said they've received over 150 assets being declared by government officials. The 12th of December is the deadline. That deadline has passed. And so very shortly, they will be coming up with a listing of officials of government who have failed to declare their asset up to this time. The battle for the speakership at the Liberian House, at the Liberian legislature, is on. Just this evening, a video surfaced about the Unity Party candidate, the Honorable Rachel Nagbe Kun, declaring, first of all, breaking the news to the Liberian people that they have decided to support. First of all, Chairman Musa Hassan Bility have decided to support the speakership of Representative Rachel Nagbe Kun. He comes to this thing, Mr. Bility comes to this thing with a very good number as well. He has decided to support Representative Kun and his folks. And so in return, in reciprocation, the Unity Party or Representative Kun and the folks who are in his camp will then be supporting Mr. Musa Hassan Bility, Chairman Bility, for the the deputy speaker position at the legislature. That video is up. We're going to be playing that as well. And so lots of things happening. The JPTT, Joint Presidential Transitional Team, or whatever how you call it, they had a meeting today. These marks where Kimia, the foreign minister, presided over that meeting. They discussed some progress made. They are expected to come up with a budget for the transitional activities and all of that that's coming up. So those are just a few of the happenings. But I want us to start, and we took off this discussion with the issue raised by the lawmaker, former lawmaker, and now counselor, one of the counselors, one of the lawyers in the Gloria Mususka case, Councillor Kuku Dober, when she raised concern about how Jefferson Koji, the mayor, raised some threats on her life and so forth. At a point, just about 15 minutes, or let's say 20 minutes, right after we introduced the topic, we went off radio. And a lot of people were calling and saying, what's happening? And, so for what's happening. But we're hopeful that we can touch on that as well before we come to a close. But I want us to kickstart this discussion with this latest response from Minister Twe. This latest reaction to the U.S. sanction now. This time around is coming from the Finance Minister, Samuel Twe. The only person who is yet to respond to this sanction thing is Senator Nukwe. Yeah, Emmanuel Nukwe is yet to respond. But we've heard from Senator Chie, we've heard from Jefferson Koji, and now Samuel Twe, the Finance Minister, has come up to say what he thinks about this thing. Mickey, I want to say thanks. Welcome to the show. I see are you tired or what? You trying to swallow something? It's good to have you on.
I'm a little bit under the weather, man. My entire household is kind of down with illness. The weather, my kids are vomiting all day. They didn't even go to school today. So they transmitted that onto me, and now like the same thing. So yeah, it's bad, bro. It's more like the symptoms are like the COVID symptoms, so it's treating me kind of bad. So
Wow. Sorry about that, man. I'm wishing you guys a speedy recovery. Hoping that the household recovers very soon. Yeah, I mean, you need to drink more water. Should I prescribe? Let me sound like a medical.
man,
Yeah,
I think like no taste in your mouth, you know, like everything. I don't know. Have you ever caught COVID before?
nah.
All right, it's bad, bro. It's
I
bad.
mean, the country had like they say got COVID before.
It's
What are
bad.
you
It's
talking
bad.
about?
It'll probably
You got malaria.
be my
Yeah,
third or fourth time contracting the COVID. And the
I,
first time I did contract the COVID, it was a day after my surgery because I had bilateral knee surgeries that kept me in wheelchair for close to a year. And
oh
the
wow.
day after my surgery, I contracted the COVID in the hospital, and I had to be on oxygen, all kinds of stupid things. Yeah, it's really bad. It's bad.
But my dreams too, but I start complaining. You cry too much, baby. What?
Man, speedy recovery to you and the kids,
Yeah,
and
recovery, man.
Emmy,
Don't worry
Emmy, and
about
Nelson, you're the ones who can be coming in sharp defense.
Please forgive him, for he does not know what he's.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move into this. Let's start with this latest response from Minister Twe. This sanction thing is like that whole week discussion here. I mean, everybody reacting to this thing. It makes it even more interesting by the day. Let's hear a portion of this. Then we're gonna make the first round on this discussion.
The perverted use of American power by bureaucrats in the landscape of international diplomacy has led to rising anti-American sentiment around the world. Treasury and state designations have a critical role in changing behavior in Africa and around the world. Their misuse or their overuse can pose problems for America. Sanctions cannot and must not be used to a panel in the United States describing what would eventually be a visa restriction imposed by the U.S. State Department. The glow of my morning transformed into a gloom of a pitch black evening. And this information had finally succeeded. This was my initial reaction. I could only feel sorrow for my wife and darling little children.
So there you hear the finance minister. The glory of his morning, his day that started so fine, ended in darkness when he heard this news of his sanction, and he's only worried about his darling wife and innocent kids. But this is how he ended. I don't want to go into the other aspects and all those different things he said in defense, but this is how he ended his. Is it playing from your end?
No.
Okay.
Play from my end.
But then something is not right.
The perverted use of American power by bureaucrats in the landscape of international diplomacy has led to rising anti-American sentiment around the world. Treasury and state designations have a critical role in changing behavior in Africa and around the world. Their misuse or their overuse can pose problems for America. Sanctions cannot and must not be used as a tool to destabilize a democracy, such as Liberia, or to weaken an opposition. 7 persons receiving designation in the space of 3 years from largely one side of the political divide in a country that is both a democratic and has more recently become a macroeconomic exception in West Africa should tell U.S. cabinet secretaries, U.S. congressional leaders, and U.S. presidents that something is afoul and requires a holistic review. I hope in fighting to overturn the injustice that has been meted out to me and my family, I can contribute immensely to perfecting the use of American power for the greatest good of the world and of humanity. I thank you.
Now, before going into this whole detail of the finance minister press conference today, I want us to talk about the body language a little. Let's start with this body language a little. Do you guys see or sense any remorse in the appearance, the body language of what sort of message does the body language send? Now, this finance minister, how he engages with people as a press conference like this, a public engagement. The finance minister, how he does his thing, but the body language.
The perverted use of American power by bureaucrats in the landscape of international diplomacy has led to a panel in the United States describing what the mining sector confuses me, but I believe this will to a panel in the United States describing what would eventually.
What do you guys capture from the body language here? Let's start with you, Moba.
Yeah, thank you.
Nelson,
Well,
1 second, please. Can you
Yeah.
please tell our viewers to share the show and hit the like button?
Okay. Yeah. So we've asked the guys to kindly share the program. Share
Please,
the show,
guys.
so we have a great conversation. Listen, this edition of the late night show, you don't want to miss it. And I'm hoping that it will end up in peace. It will not end in violence tonight. But go ahead.
I think the like Sametua, when he's speaking like when he ready to talk, more especially when calling a press conference and discussing about it, the economics of Liberia.
Yeah.
We know how how he ready to like talk, saying his hands, then everybody behind Paku.
Yeah, the body language.
Like a very sad, very sad movement. But I think for all indication, what he really sad about his children. He's sad about the Liberian children.
So we're gonna come to the issue, but let's do few seconds on this body language. Ami, Toure, welcome to the show. Ami, what did you gather from the body language today? The finance minister as he addressed this press conference.
I see fear. He said the struggle is real. Yeah, fear. All the fear they've been putting in other people, now somebody putting it in them. That's what I see. I don't see the strong Samuel Tuer ready to lie to the Liberian people. He think he's smart. He got everything. He knows it all. You don't see that. And it decided me a little bit, but he deserves
it. Get you? Did it turn out to be a bit emotional for you? Saying,
yeah, I'm a human, right? I'm not. And then again, my woman intuition or
and then when
whatever.
You then I would say, well, all the people you'll be scary.
Yeah, I'm like,
Okay, let's hear from Francis. Let's hear from Francis. Francis, what did you capture from there?
I do. He appears defeated. You know how when you're in school, you fail the test. The battle give you a paper. You haven't received the test paper yet, but you fail. But the paper coming, still trying to sneak to look at that grade. And when you finally see that you scored 30 out of 100, you say, Jesus. Wow. So he know that sensation was coming when everybody was getting hit. He know it was just a matter of time for him to get hit, but he was hoping that it doesn't happen.
So you think he appears defeated from what you see?
Yeah, absolutely defeated. Everybody knows Samuel Tuer, how flamboyant he is when he speaks. And animated he can be, everything, but look at him slump over like that, he was very eloquent though. We'll get to that part, but that was a defeated man standing there today.
Let's move to the man who said he did body language at some point and he reads body language and all of that. Raymond, what did you capture from there? The body language. What sort of message did it send about the finance minister today as he engaged, addressed that press conference?
I saw someone who was trying to show strength and be a little defiant. Like it didn't mean nothing, but the reality kicked in so hard. And the truth of the matter is he knows what he's into. So as much as he tried to show strength and like he's in control with his propaganda, his body said that this is real. I'm into a deep situation. And I also saw the guys who stood in his background trying to prove tough. They're militants. He's trying to show power by having men posting behind him and trying to show a number of
was that some sort of call for support, like trying to have a support base, a support system within your space, especially with the kind of tension associated with the situation?
Well, he was trying to show that he's strong, he's in charge, he's in control, he got power, he wields power. That was the optics he tried to show. That's why he had those people. They had nothing to do with the message he had to give, the background. He wanted to show that he's in charge. I mean, power. We wield power. We are powerful. We are important. We people of relevance. And we got influence. That was the body language he intended to show with that optics.
Okay, now coming to you, George. As at every step, at every point in this press conference, you see something else. I don't know how many of you noticed this, but let's take for
The
example.
perverted use of American power by bureaucrats in the landscape of international diplomacy has led to rising anti-American of the Department of State Foreign Operations and related programs appropriations to a panel in the United States describing what the mining sector confuses me, but I believe this reference to a panel in the United States.
Along the way, there's something about the body language. Josh, what did you capture from the body language today?
Look, Nelson, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone listening. I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
You're very good. Your audio is good. It's on point today.
Fantastic.
Don't shake it. Don't shake. You just remain up.
Thank you. I don't know how to start this, but the thing is that the minister was subdued.
You're subdued?
He was subdued, yeah. And it pains me to say that, but I think that's the way to appear. When you've been, trampled on by greater power and you have nothing to do. You cannot resist them. You cannot do anything. It's like when death is about to take you. You want to try to open your eyes, but you can get all the love. And that's the thing. And he appears so subdued, and it almost brought tears to my eyes. And I was just, putting myself in his shoe. But I know if what he said is true, that bureaucratic maneuvering.
We're gonna get into the details, George. We're getting into the details.
Yeah.
At this point,
So
I just want us to capture moments with the body language there.
No, he was subdued. It was ridiculous.
Francis said he saw someone who was defeated, a defeated person. I think I got you right. Raymond said he saw someone who was trying to show strength. You are saying, George, that you saw a finance minister who was what? Subdued, totally out of strength. He wants to open, like you want to open your eyes, but you can't make it. Yeah, but let's hear from you, Mickey. What did you capture from the body language? And then we'll end up with Touré. Then we'll go into the issue.
First of all, the whole body language thing for Samuel Touré is I don't think it should be your point of discussion, because the man from top to bottom, he's unpleasant to the see anyway. Like, he doesn't have a pleasant look anyway. So when you that's just the reality. I'm not the one who created him. That's just the way he was created. He's not pleasant to the scene. So but when it comes to people who would say they nearly shed tears, I was just caught aback. Like, if you could buy tears, would somebody waste their tears like that? If tear was a pricey commodity, will you go buy it to shed for that joker called Samuel Touré? Will you do that? But it's free. It's a free thing. Like, you don't buy it. There's nothing pleasant for Samuel Touré. Nothing at all. I don't feel any ounce of empathy or sympathy for Samuel Touré. The man is a career criminal, career crook.
Okay, let's hold you there, Mickey. I know you want to get into the issue, but Touré, let's end up with you quickly. A few seconds. What did you capture from the body language there?
Well, the minister was sweating profusely, but my one word would be discombobulated. All right. But then
from convoluted to discombobulated. You see where we are.
But then
let's see these consolation guys.
but Man, Nancy, let me
Yeah,
talk,
very
man. Let
good.
me talk, man.
No, you're not talking again.
Let me talk, man.
Allow-
Don't play no video,
allow
man.
us
Let me
let
no
them put it
video.
the way it could.
You're not playing no video, my man. Let me get to it.
And then
But
we'll
look,
go ahead.
but on some serious note, right? I think, man, look, when he started with that story with his daughter, I think that way kind of, it got to me really, really. Look, let me tell you. And look, no. But look, Mickey, I'm with you. I'm with you, bro. Look, let me tell you this. You know how people talk about crime should not be transferred, right?
You don't need to be with Mickey.
Right? I mean, look, when he talk about his daughter, I don't care what kind of person you are. If you're a father, that will get to you at a certain point. It's like a man going
I'm
home.
a father. It didn't get to me. I got kids. It didn't get to me at all.
My man, Mickey, you are caught different. You caught different, bro. You're a military man who get that. You are built differently. But let me tell you,
built to kill. You're built to kill.
my man, everybody built to kill.
Stop that. We're not start the show like that. We haven't entered the discussion yet.
Let me tell you this, Nelson, right? Nelson, let me tell you this.
No, Moba.
Why?
It's like a man going home to go tell it's like a man going home to go tell his family that he just got fired, from his job, right? And now and now his family like, where we gonna eat? That's exactly what this is.
Wow.
And besides, he understood the depth of this sanction because he lived he lived here before. Unlike Jefferson Koji, who have not experienced living in America, he will take this to be a joke. But Samuel gets it. And that's what I saw.
Wow. Now, and your statement is in alignment with one of our viewers here. He says, it's longer. 40 said, Samuel 12 body language totally represent the word sanction. Unlike Koji, who doesn't want to accept that he's being sanctioned. My only concern is that the sanction shouldn't be affecting the innocent children, blah blah blah. But this is important. Now let's get into the content of.
But Nelson, just before we get into the content, I just want to clarify my statement because I heard you summarize my statement as he shows strength. No, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I said I saw someone who was trying to show strength, but in spite of his posture, I saw a man who was completely defeated.
Oh, a defeated man trying to show strength.
So he was trying to show one optics, but one show. That's why he had guys standing behind him to show that he had power. He still wield power.
Retail pilot in the United States. For the mining sector, confused retail pilot in the United
So that's he was trying to create a picture, but the honest truth came out. He was humble. He was defeated. We've never seen Samuel Tua ever speak in such a mood before, being so humble, polite. We always know him to be arrogant, loud, noisy, an all attitude do. But this time, and that's why I think ladies will feel for him because he acted like a gentleman in the way he was composed. And that's the defeated version of himself. But his natural version is an arrogant guy who thinks he knows it all, who act louder than anyone wants to see.
Man, you're giving it another time or what?
Thank you. George,
you're still whispering, my man.
So but let me say this. The finance minister that a lot of you know, most times will not delve too much into that prepared text thing. And even in the case where he has won, the frequency of that his head being bent over into that text, in other press conferences or on other occasions is far different from what we saw today. I mean, almost every step along the way, he had to go through what is on that paper, but that's another aspect. But now let's talk about the content of the press conference.
It was scripted today. It's very well scripted.
And you have to make sure you go word for word. Don't miss any word there because that's a sanctioned speech there all by itself. But anyway, let's go into the content. Josh, I don't want you to come in with this one. I'm just saying something. All right. So let's go into the content. The finance minister said, and I want us to take it from this point. His day started so well, bright day, but then it ended up as a dark one upon hearing about this particular sanction. And his only regret is the fact that his darling wife and his kids are being hooked up in this particular thing. The clips are very short. I'm going to play it, then we'll make the analysis around that. Let's take the first
panel in the United States describing what would eventually be a visa restriction imposed by the U.S. State Department. The glow of my morning transformed into a gloom of a pitch black evening. And this information had finally succeeded. This was my initial reaction. I could only feel sorrow for my wife and darling little children.
So let's take it from right there. This information has succeeded. Now, let's hear from you guys. Let's start with you, Moba. We're gonna take this thing around. No specific order. We'll make the rounds on this. Let's take the first 1 minute on the analysis of that first clip. Moba, let's hear you.
Thank you, Nelson. Well, look, actually, I feel for the children. The children being involved in his shilly deed. It's hurt. Like we can say all about Samuel, and for me, I'm against what he did in Liberia, like all the corruption and stuff.
But the finance minister said this information have succeeded. The lying that people lie on him. They're talking over and over and over. They have succeeded in doing that to a point where he has been sanctioned today.
Well, like Samuel did mop up SSI. We get nothing. People investigated. They came out with funding, and it was true. And also conflict of interest. They were there. Get some company on the other side. Pushing it for the government, and money were allocated for those companies. And they see Samuel in the budget. Look, he might not come here and say the only thing he might be talking about, thinking about his children, but he should defend himself by saying the American lie on him, the targeting.
No, there's information in a sense that even the people, the Liberians who were lobbying for this sanction, they lie on him. That's the point that the finance minister is coming with.
Because the people carry facts.
Lie on him.
No, the people never lie on him. Look, the fact is glaring. Even my brother George Anderson know that too. But you know what? He'll still beyond CDC because CDC that he play his bloodline air. He can move on there. Even in CDC, they call somebody, he'll say that lie. So that's it. The has sedition looking. You go, you kind of have sedition looking, and Samuel for me. I feel sorry for the children. This part, look, everybody get different, but I feel for the children because the children here, they're going to school, and they're living a better life, 24-hour electricity. I feel for them. But end of the day, when you look at it on the other side, how about my own son, who could, like, she gave me a phone for her child. That child can't even go to school. They even know what they call computer. So, like all these things come into packages. But end of the day, I can say for real, right? Samuel deserves the identical sanction.
Now, Francis, when you hear the finance minister say his day started very well, glowing day turned to a gloomy, dark. I mean, a very dark. It started very well. Okay, it started very well, but it ended terrible. And then he comes back to say misinformation has succeeded. I mean, what's your analysis of that?
Right, man, that guy need to write poems. He sounded very poetic with that. The bright morning, sunny skies, and dark night. Write poems and sell it. I think he made more money than he stole from the Liberian people when he sell his poems. But however, you don't wish bad things on people.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking about Samuel Tour, even though I'm not wishing bad things on him. But like Moba said, we feel sorry for the kids that had nothing to do with his crimes, right? Or his alleged crimes. But on the other hand, these are the same kids that the stolen money or alleged stolen money until he's proven guilty. I'll keep saying alleged. Will educate them. They will go back to Liberia and rule. And the old man
that are children there today can't even go to school. We rule the children there that he went to jail Gibson to tell him he would feed them for 3 days. The children that said they got computer lab with no computer science lab with no materials in it. What are children benefiting from the best education in the world? How is that fair? And his wife, other people, mom, they're selling. When you sell, when you do business, right? When you do business, your business is supposed to grow. When you sell and you go to buy, you're supposed to be saving some of your profit and go and use the principal to buy more, come and sell, right? But in bro, when you sell, they sell a little business, so now they're going back for that business, not even bread, and they got to borrow money again to go buy more goods. So your business is not growing. They're not making the money, they're suffering. But their wives are outside the U.S. just relaxing and getting supported from outside the U.S. You know what I mean? To get supported in America from outside. The people suffering in Liberia, man. So yeah, let them come back. Say that they're well for Liberia. Let that family come and benefit from this from the economy. He took 25 million people out of poverty, right? Why only 5 million people in Liberia? He took out 25 million out of poverty.
That was a slip of tongue, man. I think the finance minister meant 5 million.
But maybe people can enjoy the good school,
maybe that's
the free education, the top of the land free education.
Let me say this.
So, Nazi, the finance minister spokesperson, huh?
No, don't. I'm just saying that could be a slip of tongue. Right?
Anyway, that's that Tuesday. Let's forget it.
But for instance, the finance minister said that misinformation has succeeded. The people who've been lying, sending out misleading information, they have succeeded. The enemy has succeeded. This whole idea of sanction come about as a result of misinformation, or did it come into effect based on the reality on the ground?
Okay, that he been in. Let him go and he will explain tire in court. Let him, he will prove himself to be, he will prove the government wrong. Then he will be fine. Okay? But he will explain tire. Let him keep going out to the public to explain that case in the public. When Baga come in, they'll go to Temple of Justice to explain. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Francis. Let's hear from Josh. Josh, what's your take on this, man? Misinformation, the finance minister said, have succeeded. The people really lied on him.
So, Nelson, when I listened to him and what he was saying, if you actually did listen to him and not just go there with a fixed mindset, if what he's saying is something to go by, he's saying to us that he's a victim of lies and propaganda, and Nelson, like you and I today, if I had worked for the CDC government, the cars are going Monrovia, they will say that's stolen property. People have the perception that once you work in government, you are a rogue, and that is sad, because what it does is that whatever anyone says about you now, people will agree. They will say that's true. Now people say Senator got houses in Abidjan, some in Ghana, and places. Nobody has been able to provide evidence to substantiate that claim, but they continue to say it. And when he made a specific mention of that money, I think it was $25 million. When I did my own research, I realized that he's a victim. And hopefully, since he has already...
Are you talking about the mop-up exercise? Oh, wow.
No. The mop-up exercise, look, I don't know why Liberian people are still hard to understand things. I don't know, because they got a fixed mind, because Samuel Twe was not the one distributing the money. Samuel Twe was not involved. Samuel Twe was not responsible for taking the money out in the field. He did not. I don't know why people... Let me tell you, the how they call it, the central bank is responsible for monetary policy, right? And fiscal policy is the finance ministry. Finance ministry deals with fiscal policy.
But Josh, are you aware that at some point that whole mob of big... I really don't want us to go there because
no, but it's okay to do that.
Are you aware that at a point, in the first place, the finance minister was the head of the economic, how do you call the team? There was a financial
Management team.
economic management team. He was the head of the economic management team. And there were concerns at some point as to why is the finance minister or the Ministry of Finance that is supposed to be on top of the fiscal aspect involved with the monetary aspect of this whole economic management team, especially when it came to the mop up exercise. You know that even the reports, they agree upon procedure, whatever that Crow and all of those people did, they came to realize from their findings that there were businesses that didn't exist, but those businesses received money.
The Crow report.
All right, the Crow report. Businesses that didn't exist received money. There were lots of bad practices that went on. Samuel Twe, as head of the economic management team, are you saying here that he was lied on? He shouldn't have been held responsible and all of that when he said that they took money, they put it in pickup and making sure that people, this policy affects every single business person out there. Are you saying that he should have been left off the hook? Nobody should link him to the failure of that particular mob thing? You think so?
Nelson, you're right. He should be linked. There are so many ways people can be linked to, malpractices.
Yeah.
And their level of responsibility, within that, practice. But here's the thing. If you mob or maybe $17 million out of $25 million, and you still got the same amount of money that you put out there, the same amount, nothing got missing. And then you say because they put it in the cars to take it there is wrong. Yeah, procedure can be wrong. But was the outcome wrong? I don't think so, because in Liberia, we do not have people who take their money to the banks. People have their money with them in their houses. So I don't know why we still blame him. But look, it is all fair play. He was the head of the economic management team. Sorry, so he should be blamed. But the culpability has levels. He did not steal money. I don't think so. But I don't know.
And you think people
there.
lied on it, and you think this sanction is not just fair
until an investigation can be conducted.
Okay.
I still stand that it needs to be investigated to know the actual happenings in it. And guess what? No, just before I finish, there is a Liberian journalist who wrote the U.S. Embassy. And in that letter he wrote, they responded to him, and he asked them whether they were willing to give evidence so that these people are prosecuted. And he replied he got is not pleasant. The American embassy told him that the evidence is everywhere. It's been published. And I don't see any evidence that has been published. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to try to get that communication, whatever. Maybe I need to write myself so I can get a response as well. But let's hear from you, Ture. What's your take on, this aspect of the minister's statement today, his press conference? He said he was being lied on, misinformation have succeeded. His day started well, but this thing, it just broke him down, and he's more concerned about his family. Let's hear you.
All right. So look, I'm getting text message and other stuff like that. People are really people have problem with me saying like I you know what I mean. I pity for his kids. But look, let me say this from like my daughter is right. My daughter is right by me right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's from that angle they were coming from. But I mean, look, we all know what's up. We all know what the administration did to the Liberian people. There are a lot of children right now that are not in school because of the economic policy, right? Okay. But let even go second level. The thing we're talking about here, I mean, look, he was a finance minister for 6 years. You know what I mean? There is nothing. I mean, you don't even have to go looking to see, like some of the stuff that he actually implemented, right? With the whole mop-up exercise, I read that report. I have a copy of that report here. So I don't know where George is coming from with that. I mean, that report clearly stipulated in there that whole exercise was taken out of the traditional banking system. So when you take that exercise out of the traditional banking system that already have a system, right? Then there when people talk about, I mean, it's in the report that he said he took the money changers, right? So and that's what a lot of people say, oh, you put money in WeBarra and took the money changers, and they couldn't even trace on some of the businesses. The firm that did that investigation, that is a firm right here in Philadelphia on Market Street, right? I my beginning went there. I mean, like right around that time, 2018. So I just went to that office on Market Street. So like, and if you guys want, I can even go there tomorrow. You know what I mean? If that's
okay, a fresh report from
a fresh report and talk to one of their staffers. But look, that's exactly what it is, right? Mr. Twe, unfortunately, all this thing here, bro, all this thing on you, man. I mean, I you know, it's hard for you to see a man like Raymond stated, a man that full of so much exuberance in his deliberation, a man that always loved to go unscripted, like Donald Trump, right? You know, but you see that man today. Yeah, I know Mickey didn't like that part. You will see that man today following script, right? Because you understand. He understands so deeply. Like, if you go off script, when dealing with America, when dealing with Uncle Sam, that's even bigger than what he already have on his table. Because you will be saying now that whatever that are labor against you are false, baseless. You never ever heard Samator saying all those allegations were false, baseless, unfounded. Only we heard from the other man or Chie, you know what I mean, who came out all that stuff. But Samator understands. He understands America. He lived here before. He know exactly what this is, unlike the other guys. So he was very calculated, very deliberate and calculated in all of his assertions.
Now, to finally, then we're gonna move to Amin. Listening to Minister Twe when he spoke of misinformation have succeeded, how much of success this whole thing of misinformation had on this central community. Who do you think he was speaking to in terms of this whole misinformation thing? Is it the Liberian people that misinformed the U.S. government, or is it the U.S. government that's misinforming the rest of the world that he's this, he's that, and all of those different charges they brought on him?
Well, concerns Liberians who felt that their country was being taken for a ride. You know what I mean? Like all of us, I'm not, you know, like we all sat on this platform and you know, and discover some of the, you know, economic condition that were implemented by Mr. Twe, that were not you know, counterproductive to the Liberian people. And we said some of these things here. And me being a taxpayer in America, you know, I mean, I personally, I did not call my representative or my senator to tell them to look into Liberia, but I'm pretty sure other Liberians did, right? And that's why when you saw representatives and other people taking some of these Liberian issues to the Senate floor and discussing some of these things, because their constituents that are majority Liberians brought these things to their attention. And when that happened in the U.S., of course, you know what I mean, they would listen. They would listen to these people because they are taxpayers, and their concerns, especially if it's genuine, they will look into it and they'll investigate it. But Samator did say something though. Let me say this, and let me say this very clear.
Yeah.
When he talk about you know, an American firm, and that of the other company, how do you call it, British company that in Liberia there? You know what I mean?
Is it
how do you call there's such a company that everybody know the name?
ArcelorMittal,
right? British company. Let me tell you one thing. American company around the world, man, if they are not giving fair share of anything, that would definitely get some congressman representative talking, right? So I don't know how far that is, but the way Mr. Tor is saying that, and I'm not saying he should be exonerated for everything that have happened, but I can almost guarantee you, Americans, they are out there to protect their interests of their businesses internationally, and they will do whatever it takes. So if they sense anybody is trying to, you know what I mean, to not play right by one of their entities, you definitely gonna face the brunt of it.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear from you, Amin, and then we're gonna take Raymond, and then Mickey will be next.
Okay, thank you, Nelson. Yeah, guys, when Samuel said, Swear, what is his name again? Toy said, the glows of my morning transformed into a glow of the pitch black evening. You know, I sat there for a little bit and thought about this guy's trying to be Shakespeare around here. I want to have those people in the interior and not even in interior, in Monrovia.
Next thing you go laugh.
With their children.
No.
You know, their children not getting good health care, education, and stuff like that from your corruption. How do you think their mornings and evenings felt like? Because your little precious little girls. Don't get me wrong, I'm a mother and I feel bad for the little kids, but sometimes maybe I'll too much feeling bad got the way our country look now, and we need to somehow toughen up, right? I don't think they're doing this because of the children. I think doing stuff like that is they're trying to tell you or trying to make you feel what a majority of the people in the country felt or feel when you do stuff like this. And like I said here before it used to be like censored on the entire country for something like people that one person did. And then the entire country, everybody in their own little children would suffer, right? But now they're doing it for just the individual and his family. So as much as it's touched me, as a mother and as a human being, I think is the children are not going to get killed. They're not going to prison. They're just telling you, say, oh, let them go back and enjoy their freedom and their development and the so-called whatever thing that you say you did in Liberia. And the people are enjoying, they're having fun, they're living their lives. So let your children come back in that condition like every other Liberian children and enjoy that. So I think that's what it is. But he's trying to buy this sympathy and come in, oh, I was treated wrongly and misinformation. First of all, these people, I don't know how many times we're going to say it. You can go and lie to your best to try to make you look innocent. These people don't just take information, just people saying stuff and just go ahead and react. They don't do that. They don't do that. They know what Sameto has done. They have seen him do it. They have that proof. And George, they're not going to give that evidence to a journalist. If the Justice Department, I'm pretty sure, request for those evidence, they will give it to them. Not to some journalist calling and say, oh, here's the evidence. You go ahead and do whatever you want to do. That's not how I don't think that's how it's going to work. So, yeah, so I feel bad for the kids. But then again, we Liberian people is feeling back, and I'm gonna toughen up. I'm gonna wear my big girl, you know what, and let this one play out because I think it's good for everybody. Like we said, all other people that are coming into government to know that this is not just gonna be about you anymore. Nothing. Thank you for what you like. What I said because
no,
I know you want me to stop there.
I think you're concluding now.
No, you're not. Go
ahead. Remo is taking a glass of juice because he wants to come in real quick. Yeah, so I think you're concluding now.
Remo's gonna come in when I'm done. So yeah, so I don't lie. That's what this is being something we all know that the children has nothing to do with it. But then again, that's what we all suffered something that got generational curse. We had nothing to do with people going to witch party and doing stuff. But It's still hunt us today anyway. We have to do some spiritual thing and deliverance and stuff then before we get free of it. So yeah, we feel bad, boss. I'm sorry, but maybe this is how it has to be for people.
This whole thing about misinformation, where do you stand on it? Was there any misinformation, carried out that sort of contributed to the sanction on the finance minister today, or is it based on his performance, what he has done over the years?
Another thing, I just spoke on that and saying that
Oh,
there's
okay,
these people don't work on they don't work on people just Nelson, just get up and just go to the embassy and say, oh, guess what? Oh, I mean, did this to me. You need to go grab her. She's on there, and they don't follow up to what you told them about Ami to investigate, and then they just go because Nelson says it, they go and grab Ami. That's not how it works. That's what I'm saying. So the whole misinformation thing, like with people like my brother George and the other, if you're working in government, automatically you're a role. Nonsense. They're just using that to make the CDC base pumped up, like how everybody's twice, saying one of the CDC. They're seeing it. But no, they have to be supreme. The party have to be supreme. And that's disgusting because your country, they're telling you somebody did something to you and your future and your children. And you're standing there and letting them go because you already believe their lies over the year. You're letting them to lie to you over and over and over again. So
thank you.
That's just something to just pump them up. That's what it is. But nobody information out.
Thank you. I know you want to make a point, but let's take Raymond quickly, and then you're gonna make a point. Raymond, let's hear you on this, and then we'll take Mickey. Go ahead, Raymond.
So the poet Samuel Tour wrote his final lines today, but let me remind him of another poet who is Shakespeare. He said, "The evil that men do, live after him." Jesus, the greatest teacher ever, said, "Do unto men as you have them to do unto you." And that's the golden rule. Samuel Tour is feeling pity for his kids, his wife, while he sat in Liberia ruining the lives of others, many. And he had his kids and his wife in another country where he sent taxpayers' money and our revenue to give them a life that he could not afford through honest and hard work. Why do criminals commit crimes?
Henry Tucker.
Raymond, what's talking?
Henry Tucker.
I'm sorry, I got a call.
Okay.
So, why others suffer, languish in abject poverty? When he had the unfortunate situation, he flew out of the country to seek health care. How many Liberians haven't died because drugs, few could not even reach the hospitals, or because the roads were bad? Pregnant women could not leave one place and go to get health care, and they have to die. We saw one on the Spoon Talk where someone was reporting live, said we stuck up in the mud as a pregnant woman, reporting. And in the same report said she passed away. Did Samuel Tuer had a terrible day for that? He didn't. He was dancing around talking about empowering 27 million people and taking them out of poverty. He was talking about exporting electricity to Ivory Coast. Lies. How can someone who is noted for lying every day be the one to defend himself with the truth? Deception, according to psychologists, deception, lies are created by people as a defense mechanism. And there are others who, like the good few, they want to live in denial. They want something to be wrong. For example, there will be some people who you tell them, say, oh, your best friend has passed away. They say, oh, please let it not be true. Their first appetite is a lie because a lie makes them feel good. So a lot of people will be in denial, irrespective of America has standards that everyone knows that no country can match up to American standard globally. Americans' ability to research and find things. Didn't we see the American ambassador long before telling us about the issues in Liberia and the level of corruption? And who the journalists in Liberia who cannot research, don't know the issues? Don't any journalists know how much money the Liberian government put into food aid during the COVID-19? Did they do any investigation in Liberia to see who are receiving? These are the simple things. So when the American tells you that evidence are everywhere, go find them. It's just a slap in the face to tell you, say, don't come up here. The thing you should be giving us, you come here to access. Because you're like you're a watchdog for society. The evidence of corruption everywhere. We know the role of Samuel Tuer, the finance minister. We know what he's done. And you have said nothing about it, and you here asking for evidence?
Thank you. Thank you.
That doesn't make sense. But the truth of the matter is, Samuel Tuer, in the deep of his soul, know that he's been cut with his pants down. He's only trying to put up a posture. He's bluffing. But the truth of the matter is, he knows how hot the water is that he got to bathe with.
Thanks a lot. Mickey, let's hear from you finally on this one.
You know, when you study, when you go into ontology, the ontological aspect, when you're doing theological studies, there's something called the ontology, right? You're studying God, and God has attributes. Like God is love. It's not that God love, but he is love, so that he exerts nothing but love. And another attribute is that God is justice. It's not that he gives justice, but he is justice himself. Now, none of us on this platform here can tell us that we know justice or we are justice as God is. God understands what justice is. And I would like to read something. Deuteronomy 5 verse 9. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation, to them that hate me. Samuel Tuer should even be lucky for his great grandchildren to born on the Sanction list. He should be lucky.
But Mickey, isn't that the biblical context you go into? This is politics.
No, but I'm telling you,
why are you dragging the biblical context to the political issues?
The reason I'm bringing it up, because we have folks here trying to feel pity for the children and saying, oh, and crime is not transferred. God who created us, Nelson, he's telling you that I can punish the generation, the third and fourth generation, for the crime or the sin of their father. Who are you to say Samuel Tuer children and shooting? I don't understand. And secondly, my brother Francis say, you don't wish evil on anybody. The Bible says, suffer the wish not to live. Who you think who fly in the air? The act of Samuel Tuer and the legs of Jefferson Koji and other people, that's an act of a witch or a wizard. If you suppress and oppress people for your own benefit, that's a work of a witch or a wizard. So yes, I wish evil for Samuel Tuer. I wish Samuel Tuer would go to bed tonight and I wake up. That's just me. I just being blunt. I'm not going to sugarcoat everything. But here's the thing, right?
Listen, Mickey. Don't wish,
I would just be blunt to you.
Man go to bed and I wake up. He's a Liberian.
Nelson, do you know how many people went to bed and didn't wake up for hunger and starvation? Do you know how many people went to the hospital just for checkup and they end up dying because they didn't have the means to go for regular checkup as we do or Samuel Tuer would do? So what is wrong with Samuel Tuer going to bed and not waking up the next morning? I don't see anything wrong with it. But let me deal with the issue. You see the legs of George coming up here on the platform. You're not doing Samuel Tuer any favor. Matter of fact, you are infuriating, you are agitating the public the more when you come in sharp defense of the crimes committed by Samuel Tuer. I served in the U.S. military. When I left the U.S. military, I served in the federal government. And let me tell you today, George, maybe you think the United States government, the level of bureaucracy, when I served in the federal government, I understood what it was. Besides the military, there's also a level of bureaucracy in the military. But when you enter the civilian world, the federal government, you see it even more. And here is the thing. These people take their time. They are very meticulous. Do you think the United States government earned her reputation by practicalizing those things under the sycamore tree? The way CDC run them, you think how the United States government run, like somebody will go to George Weah and say, oh, you see Eugene Fagona let you, and then George Weah call us. You think how the US government run their business? They don't run their business to that. They operate on facts and evidence. That's why they are the world superpower, Nelson. Today, you see that I'm coming, Nelson. You
all
see
your biblical quotations, your sermon that you design and then you've started to preach here, everything. I get that, but the minister is saying that finally, the enemies, the people who did not want to see him succeed, who carry on all sort of misinformation and everything, they've succeeded. Is this happening as a result of misinformation or performance?
Nelson,
that's what the just said.
Nelson, what do you expect Samuel Tuer to say in his defense? He's not going to come out and admit to say, I did it. He's grabbing on straws. Listen, as I said, the United States government, bro, that is a government of international reputation. The United States government. You think somebody want Joe Blow? Like, you know, when George said, I think a journalist went to the US embassy and wrote a letter and requested evidence, and the United States response was,
Mickey has 20 seconds to conclude. Go ahead,
yeah,
Mickey.
but you caught me up more than everybody, yeah?
I was just about to say you're talking more than me, but I'm not complaining because I'm enjoying you.
The thing here is, when George said a journalist wrote to the U.S. embassy and requested evidence, the U.S. embassy said the evidence all over, it just made me to wonder from where George is coming from. What did you expect the United States embassy to say? All right, we come and give you the evidence. Does that even make sense?
No, they'll say we provide the evidence. That's all they needed to know.
Why you wanted to tell you when the U.S. ambassador McCarthy, the ex-U.S. ambassador de la Bureau, said if the government requests the evidence, they're willing to provide it. You wanted to sound repetitive? It doesn't make sense. The people already said it.
Answer the same question, even if it's posed in 3 different ways. Answer the question. That's all they
because the people don't have time. They don't have time.
Then don't respond. Then don't respond.
They respond. You're not going to tell them how to respond. This is not a Sacramento tree.
Nelson, my time here is off. I gotta go home. If you're still on when I get to the house, I'll get on. Yeah. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.
I don't feel one pity for Samuel Tuer, his wife, and his children. If you
thank you.
I come in. Let me land on this because what he need interjected.
Yeah.
When you tell the country, the nation, that you are exporting electricity to the likes of Ivory Coast and other countries in the sub-region, why don't you want your children to come back here and enjoy that electricity? Why? Why do you want to stay in America?
No. Electricity, the African electricity is different from the U.S. electricity. So let's forget that.
No,
but I want us to zero
let them go back there
and then we'll
and
go to the
electricity too.
My man, the men that want African electricity for Nigeria. So Nikki, lead that one. Let's move to the next.
My man.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
We listened to Josh discussing about evidence, what the evidence. He remember when the outgoing ambassador went to all the county, carry on investigation, right? And he found out that there were money allocated for all the hospital in the budget, and it was not given to. And he came out with that report. He got it with him. So why my brother George coming from talking about evidence? You know, it's just sad, man. It's just sad.
No, Josh is quoting someone, and I want us to get this
man,
right.
You shouldn't be quoting Freedom FM. Freedom FM, nothing can come from Freedom FM.
No, listen now, Mama. Let's be professional in this thing.
Yeah, go ahead. No, man, I didn't say my own. You can say your own.
So the man is quoting a journalist. I don't know that person or whatever.
But me, I know the journalist. I want to give you the journalist, where the journalist from.
He said the person wrote the U.S. embassy. And the embassy said the evidence is everywhere. That is a statement coming from George.
That would be if the story is even true. Nelson, if that story George said is even true.
You got to check in. You got to
You will believe anything coming from George?
No.
So guys, I want us to end up on this note. I want us to end for this. We can just take maybe 1 minute each on this. Let's watch the timer because we have to move to this speakership thing. The Unity Party person in the race, Representative Kuhn, have said Chairman Bility have decided to support them. He's coming on board with all his guys. So they in return will be supporting Chairman Bility for the deputy speakership. That's something we're about to talk about next. Can Chairman Musa Hassan Bility make a good deputy speaker? Is it a good decision? Is it prudent enough to have the Unity Party supporting Musa Hassan Bility for speakership for the 55th legislature? We're going to talk about that. But let's end up on this note. This is how the finance minister concluded the conference today.
The perverted use of American power by bureaucrats in the landscape of international diplomacy has led to rising anti-American sentiments around the world. Treasury and state designations have a critical role in changing behavior in Africa and around the world. Their misuse or their overuse can pose problems for America. Sanctions cannot and must not be used as a tool to destabilize a democracy such as Liberia or to weaken an opposition. 7 persons receiving designation in the space of 3 years from largely one side of the political divide in a country that is both a democratic and has more recently become a macroeconomic exception in West Africa should tell U.S. cabinet secretaries, U.S. congressional leaders, and U.S. presidents that something is afoul and requires a holistic review. I hope in fighting to overturn the injustice that has been meted out to me and my family, I can contribute immensely to perfecting the use of American power for the greatest good of the world and of humanity. I thank you.
So he hopes in fighting to overturn the injustice that have been meted against him and his family. But listen, he spoke of something very important. He highlighted the importance of sanction, how important this whole thing about sanction is in shaping the way political actors in Africa, on the African continent, compose themselves. But then he goes on to talk about this thing being injustice. And at one end, he said that the fact that Liberia's economy has progressed in the sub-region is an exception in the sub-region. To have all those progress being made within a very short time, and then in the same vein, you have officials of the government, the very government that have effectuated those changes, raises a concern for those issues to be reviewed. Now, he spoke of 7 persons being sanctioned from one political divide. Now, I want us to go into the list of individuals that have been sanctioned. Since this whole thing, oh my word, I hope this thing doesn't do this to me. Oh, so since this whole sanction thing started, about 10 officials of government in Liberia have been sanctioned. 10 officials of government have been sanctioned. I want us to go into it and get their names. Maybe Young Zakami was on the name while I getting my listing ready here. But okay,
you know how to get.
So 10 officials of government. You have Andrew Wamplo, the director of passport. He was sanctioned. Vani Boto Sherman, he was sanctioned. Bill Twari, he was sanctioned. Prince Yomi Johnson, the senator, he was sanctioned. Nathaniel McGill, the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, sanctioned. Samuel Twe, Finance Minister, sanctioned.
Jefferson
Koji, sanctioned. Albert Chie, sanctioned. Emmanuel Nukwe, sanctioned. Serena Seaford, sanctioned.
And
so
Bill Twari, yeah, you call Bill.
I'll call his name.
Yeah. Okay.
So this brings to 10 the number of officials or government officials in Liberia who have been sanctioned. Now, let's look at their political alignments, where those political actors come from, where those people, what are their political affiliations. So Sima Serena see first. Maybe the people that are watching now, y'all are sitting, y'all can take your pen and do the marking. Put CDC one side, put Unity Party one side, and put any political party another side. So Andrew Wamplo, the director of passport, former director of passport, For now, we can't say what is, except is if anyone on set here knows his political affiliation, but I can't speak to that.
Who that?
Andrew Womplo.
The man are
the former
seditions. He
sedition,
was
right?
a seditions, yes.
Okay.
And he's still a sedition except he can
So
resign.
Andrew Womplo CDC, right? Because I'm driving at the point where the finance minister said 7 sedition, and Teresa Fatoma, you're right. He says 7 from CDC, right? So Andrew Womplo, that one, right? Vani Sharma is not from CDC.
United Party.
He's from the Unity Party. So UP get 1. That 1 now, right? Bill Tware is from the CDC. That 2-1. 2 for CDC. Prince Yomi Johnson. Prince Johnson is
the MD. I think something.
MDR.
MDR,
yeah. Nathaniel Miguel, CDC. That 3. Samuel Tware, CDC. That 4. Jefferson
soccer game?
That 5. Abrachie, CDC. That 6. Emmanuel Nukwe.
Emmanuel Nukwe was unit. I think was independent, unity and independent.
Yeah, I'll tell the man from there. Sima Serena CDC. That's 7. So you have 7 officials of government from the CDC. So of the 10 persons, 2 from the United Party, 1 person, Emmanuel Nukwe, we don't know. Okay, he's from the PUP. Emmanuel Nukwe is from the PUP. Emmanuel Nukwe, so CDC gets 7, UP get 2, and PUP get 1. That's the score for the sanction right now. CDC 7, PUP 1, and UP 1.
4-4-2 formation.
Yeah, certainly. But now, let's talk about this wave of sanction. The finance minister is saying that it is unfair to have 7 persons from a particular government that has done so well to be sanctioned in just no time. This calls for serious investigation, and it calls for review. The U.S. government needs to now sit down and review the processes leading to the sanctioning of officials of government from the African continent. I'm going to play this video again, then you guys can take a 1 minute each on this.
Yes, sir.
The perverted use of American power by bureaucrats in the landscape of international diplomacy has led to rising anti-American sentiments around the world. Treasury and state designations have a critical role in changing behavior in Africa and around the world. Their misuse or their overuse can pose problems for America. Sanctions cannot and must not be used as a tool to destabilize a democracy such as Liberia or to weaken an opposition. 7 persons receiving designation in the space of 3 years from largely one side of the political divide in a country that is both a democratic and has more recently become a macroeconomic exception in West Africa should tell U.S. cabinet secretaries, U.S. congressional leaders, and U.S. presidents that something is afoul and requires a holistic review. I hope in fighting to overturn the injustice that has been meted out to me and my family, I can contribute immensely to perfecting the use of American power for the greatest good of the world and of humanity. I thank you.
So there you have it. Let's start with Francis. Francis, let's hear your take on this.
Oh man, there is no injustice. They're in power for 6 years. All the criminals from them. They're lucky that they don't even have more than 7. So let him be doing his math. His math not mathing the perfect key. So the number will increase. But you see, folks that Samuel 12, the people that are behind them are the ones that I feel bad for. He knows fully well that he is guilty. But look back who is strong as the way people are standing behind him, crying for them or doing the war cry. Their children are not even going to school. Some of them children go to school or go to these government schools that are 100 students in a class. And some of the children will come and rule them someday if they don't deport them. You see? So, I mean, there's not much to say to that. And he's talking about the U.S. Use their power for good and also destabilize country and come out and bite them. What can Liberia do to the U.S. in the first place? What can you do to the U.S.? And you talk about our economy, to just paraphrase like the emerging or maybe superior economy in the sub-region? Where are you saying that every time you look at your bank account, then you come and you think that it reflects the people in Liberia, your bank account? No. That's why coming to haunt you now, because the Oman are in Budua or the Papel are in Vonjama, they don't even have bank account. How a country that's so small and so rich, but over 75% of its people live below the poverty line. Live below the poverty line. It will come and sit here and talk about Liberia economy and pretty much want to put that on his back as his finance minister that did all these great things for Liberia. No,
thank you.
If you did all those great things, let your family come and enjoy it with the rest of our people in Liberia.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Let's hear from you, Toure. Toure, are you sleeping on us? Oh, okay. Toure not on the show.
All right. I mean, yeah, but yeah.
But Toure is sleeping. We see.
Man,
We see your image.
Like internet sticking Nelson.
Nelson, I'm trying to put me something. Mama, you see, man, drinking.
I'm tired.
You know what I mean?
Hey, he's not sleeping. See, everybody's sleeping.
Now you see, now you going back sleeping again, Nelson. But look, like I said, man, you know, everybody should carry his or her own load. You know, you get out what you put in. You know, I truly believe in that. So at the end of the day, the finance minister can try to use his you know, his eloquence, he uses eloquence and what have you. It's still not going to change what these realities are, right? One thing we can actually beg on, that when these sanctions comes up, look, man, nothing you will do to change it. I mean, you know, where you going? I mean, this is as fast-paced of an sanction as it can get, right? You don't have to be someone who understands finance or someone who understands the economy to know exactly that there were stuff that happened under your watch, Mr. Finance Minister, that you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure these things out. You know what I mean? If you are not facilitating where the money are coming from, right? A lot of things. There's a convolution of so many things that happen, you know, under your watch. I know Nessie going to use it, but I use it in a different form.
No.
Look at him.
Go ahead.
Look at him. I'm going to use the word, but I use it in a different form. But look, let me tell you this. There are so many things that happen, you know. Now we're talking about who are funding these things. Where the money are coming from. So there's so many ways. That's why it's hard to challenge these things. It's so hard to challenge it. You know, in his mind, he might not have been directly connected with some of these things, but if you go deep down into it, like the way the Americans are able to go to the bottom line, try to get some of these actors and actresses, you know, that participated, try to get a plea deal from some of these people behind the back to spill beans. So you don't know, man. There's so many things. That's why before America can come with their sanction, they have done what we call due diligence.
Thank you.
They have done what we call due diligence. They're not just going to come and just put it out there for the sake of putting it out there for public sentiment. Why America looking that public sentiment America looking from the Liberian people? I'm sorry. America
Thank you.
Bigger fish to fry. But
thanks a lot, Toure.
Let's
Let's read there and take Mickey. Mickey, go ahead. Let's hear 1 minute on this.
Samatua is still intellectualizing the whole sanction thing yet. That's why he's speaking poetically, right? But Tua is using his family, his wife, and his kids to garner public sentiment. Exactly what Tua wants is what the likes of Francis and Emmy and Marban are giving him sympathy. Listen, Summer Tua is not sad because his wife and his children are affected by the sanction. Listen, Summer Tua is sad because his assets are going to be frozen. You really think Summer Tua gave a damn about his child, his children that coming to the States? Say, for instance, America just say, you know what, the sanction is just on your children not coming to the States, but they're not going to freeze your assets. Summer Tua wouldn't give a rat, or rat A, as the American people can say. He wouldn't care. Once he got his millions of dollars, his children can go any part of the world and live large. So it's not about his children not coming to America. It's about him not having access to his stolen wealth. That's the point. But he's just using the children and his family as a means to garner public sympathy. Salvatore doesn't care. When last time, look, Salvatore can spend here, children can spend the next 10 years or all coming to America. Once he has his hands on those cash, it wouldn't bother him one bit. But the fact that it's going to affect his pocket, he's not going to have access to those funds that he has placed in different accounts around the world. They're going to be frozen. That's why it affected Salvatore. So I don't want anybody to sit there and say they have sympathy for Salvatore. I mean, because his wife and children were on the stuff. Listen, man. For me, they should be, if his children are in the States, they should be deported yesterday. Jet light speed, they should be on the first available flight. And they should be last in the cabin. The way they should place them to go back to Liberia. I don't give a damn. I don't feel any form of sympathy for anybody.
Thank you. Let's hear from you, Raymond.
The first thing, Samuel Tua tried to characterize the sanction by the Americans to be unfair. He called it a great evil that he knew was coming, but he never did the right thing to adjust. And even now, he doesn't even show any remorse for the wrongs he's done to the Liberian people. He tried to buy people pity, and to an extent, he's a good communicator. So some people listen to eloquence, and some people listen to con art. And that's why a lot of people are deceived by criminals in the world today. Because even if you tell them they are schemers on the internet, when a corny man come across them and cajoles them, they fall to his craft. And Samuel Tua is crafty. So even today on the show, we can see that he's successful. However, the Liberian people situation remains the same. He tried to label America such that America these, and all of the terroristic act against America is justified because America is dealing in the world today. And that is a disservice. And I think he needs the harshest lashes for that, because that's not a remorseful individual. This is someone who's committed a crime and in your face telling you, I don't care. Even though we know that it's affecting him. He tried to play tough. His words selection tried to undermine the sanction in ways and make it look like America is unjust and witch hunting in a way that is trying to target a political party. No. It's the target individual who had the authority, misuse and abuse their authority for their gains against the Liberian people. And America is our traditional partner. When the MCC scorecard read that you pass a few points, you'd sink soon. That's why America, that's the influence of America in our country. So you can't uproot it. So if America, the one who's feeding you the most, giving you the most aid, come and tell you because of this and what you've done with our monies that we've given you, this is our consequence. Take it as a man. Bite the bullet and accept the truth. Unlike you crying baby, but that's not going to help Samuel Tua. And there should be a caveat to all who be politicians or public servants. That gone are the days that you abuse your power, get in your public offices and steal, and you think there will be no consequences. The days of impunities are over. You will
Thank you.
account for all your actions in public office, especially against the Liberian people. Thank you.
Let's take Amy and Moba. Amy, go ahead. Let's hear you on this.
Well, I think you guys are misunderstanding. I'm not going to speak for everybody, just me. When I said that it was a little sad about his children, I'm not saying I'm feeling sorry for him. They should forgive him and let his children stay. That's not what I'm saying. What someone was saying that 7 seditions is not fair. What did he expect when the government is working on the higher seditions and not anybody else? Then they're supposed to leave them and go, even though they're the one doing the wrong thing, and go outside the government and go sanction ALP, Unity Party, Liberty Party, and other people. There are people who are doing that. They are sedition. That's why they're being sent. It's not because the Americans not looking at your party. What is the low country with 40 parties? What is that doing for? What is it doing for America? That it will just pick you. And why are you going out? If they don't like you, you're already going out. Why didn't they bring these sanctions when you were there? So it doesn't make any sense. They're looking for all kinds of stuff to say, like Raymond said, bringing everything in a picture to make it look like, oh yeah, these people are already bad. Yeah, this is wrong. Yeah, they mistakenly did this though. According to my brother George, they threw a hat in the wrist by mistake, and they just picked these people. Yeah. Nonsense. And he's not remorseful. Like Raymond said, he's not. So if you do something and repent, be remorseful, maybe people they'll feel bad for you, have mercy on you. But I mean, they're really trying to justify this thing, and we don't expect any less, because I don't see anywhere where they call it criminal and right away say, "Oh yes, I did it. I did this. I did it." They would deny it to the point that they present everything to them, say here, right here. Then they start to confess. So that's exactly what is going on.
Thank you. I mean, Moba, quickly. Let's hear you.
President at the back, but let me just Samatua issue. You know, we said it all, man. Nothing much, but let me just.
Okay, but let's move to
I come here. Let me go. I come in, my man. It's sticky. You're not hearing me. Go relax. Let me make my point.
No, I'm hearing you. Just
okay. Let me make my point now. Let me make my point.
Image, yeah.
Samatua talking about 7 seditions. You know, being sanctioned, like more especially targeting a party. First of all, look at the 3 missing boys. Look at the auditors. Look at the EPS guy that was killed in Ganta. All this stuff. And you talking about sedition and targeting seditions? Who are in power? First of all, your government was your entire government. You only hire seditions, and even down to the last day of the campaign. When your spokesperson came out and said, if CDC win, there will be no opposition in your government. There will be no opposition. So you wanted to move from CDC and go to Unity Party or other political party to sanction people? No. You guys are in government, and Semetua, everybody know what you did. Look at the map of SSR. Your own sitting power, it's just like dog. They go to eat the shit and they rub it all on their mouth. And I like cat, as my brother Francis said yesterday. So you're all on your face. Look at you're tearing here today, right? You take money, you send it here today. Where the money coming from? Where the money coming from? Coming from where in Liberia? Like all the people, money and stuff. End of the day when the Liberian people money, the day when we come here, we say sedition come here, they're getting their feeding and stuff. But you know what? We're not stop talking. Even the Unity Party government, when they get into power, they do the same thing. We will talk. We will come in. The only thing we want, the good thing for Liberia. No corruption. And also, let me conclude by saying this, right? Let me conclude by saying this. The falling of the dry leaf that they wanted to the raw one. So the United Party people, you're coming in power. You're watching Kolo. The thing we're doing to CDC, you don't feel say when you go there, you do that same thing without that lie. Your own will be worse. Your own will get your United Party people get a lot of people in America here. Down to your care in the hall, your dog will send everything back.
Thank you.
When you go there, you're going to lead our people and make sure you're for corruption. I submit.
The essence of this gathering is to acknowledge of the fact that today the legislative bloc of the Union Party is Alliance have agreed to work with Honorable Musa Ability of the CPP. We have come up with a merger to make sure that both black end up producing the leadership of the House, and detail will accompany later. Thank you.
There you have it. The Unity Party person in the race, the Honorable Rachel Kuhn of District 11, who happens to be the eye or the ears of Ambassador Boakai at the legislature in this particular race for the speakership, made the disclosure today that they have decided, no, beginning with Chairman Ability, that Chairman Ability have decided to support the Unity Party candidate for the speakership, Representative Richard Kuhn. Chairman Ability says he's coming on board with all of his guys. They are going to support Representative Kuhn, making sure that Unity Party gets the speakership. And then in reciprocation of that, the Unity Party is going to support Chairman Musa Hassan Ability for the deputy speakership. Let's take 2 minutes on this each. What do you make of this decision?
We can start me.
Okay, so let's start with you, Moba.
Yeah.
Can Chairman Ability make a good deputy speaker for the 55th legislature? Is the card being played here? Are they playing this card very well? Let's get the honest analysis on these issues. Then we go to the lines.
Yeah,
thank you. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Well, I will not talk much on that issue because end of the day, we want.
No, just stop it.
End of the day, we want Unity Party person Richard Kuhn as a speaker. We don't want opposition. So if Musa Ability can bring anything on the table, right, we will accept it. He said he got about 5 or 6 people, right, or maybe more than that he can, able to, he coming with something and we are getting something. This part will beat on Musa Ability and stuff. But end of the day, if we give the speaker job to opposition, more especially the seditions, right? You know what will happen in the House?
You think Musa Ability is the right man for the deputy speakership?
I can beat on Musa Ability, right? Let me be frank. Let me say the truth tonight. Musa Ability is not a right person. Musa Ability got a lot of scar on him. He got a lot of corruption hanging on his head from FIFA, raw phone, all the one we beat on him. But then end of the day, when you so now you gotta play the devil advocate sometimes to get where you want to reach. You understand? When we talk about the speakership, I prefer Richard Kuhn. If the man can come, according to him, he got a lot of independent people over there that he can be able to talk to. End of the day, they will vote for Richard Kuhn. So with him, my understanding or my thinking, I prefer him doing that for him to get the deputy speaker job. But then my thinking here is, if he be elected as the deputy speaker, like any made a form, if the people investigate the raw form and other stuff, he will be penalized for what he did for the raw form or other stuff. That's where my thinking coming from when I look at it on the other side.
Okay.
And you understand? But end of the day, right? End of the day, next thing we can go with Kana, man. We don't want opposition over there. That's it. We can talk with Musa Ability. Musa Ability can get, I think, 12 or 7 people or whatsoever can add to our number. We come with Richard Kuhn over there. That's it. That's my own take, actually. But I'm not a fan of Musa Ability. Let me make it clear. I'm not a fan of Musa Ability. I'm not even supporting him at all until he can pay our raw fund.
Thank you. Amy, let's hear you on this.
Yeah, it's a no-go. No. Musa Ability is not the man for anything in our house. Not no deputy speaker, not speaker. I know Unity Party bad and wants the speakership. I get it. But I don't know. Musa Ability? No. No. I don't know what else to say, but I just say no. I don't trust him. I don't think he should be anywhere near the speaker or deputy speakership.
Okay. Raymond?
That was so fast, man. Yeah.
You know, Ami is trying to play smart. She won't talk for long, so she can get to other places because they Unity Party thing stay, you know. Anyway, but go ahead, Raymond. Listen, we observing y'all. We are observing you guys every step along the way. Raymond, go ahead. What's your take on this
So
latest?
politics is about numbers. In order to win the speakership,
Yeah.
whoever is running has to win almost all of the votes they can get. So working with Musa Belete in that light isn't wrong.
Okay.
And I can tell you how Musa Belete got the number of people supporting him is because he's using his funds, money. And that's how business has been done in the House of Representatives in the past.
Okay.
So there's nothing wrong in striking a deal with him. But to be fair to the discourse, I've never heard the aspirant for speakership saying that the deputy speakership would be given to Musa Belete. But if that is the case, then I frown against it. Because in leadership, we need people of character and exemplary character. Because trust is important in governance and leadership. And we do not expect the Unity Party to do business as usual. Musa Belete is using money to get all these independent lawmakers who've just won seats to support his base. So if he's going to give that, that has a financial value. Musa Belete wants it back. Musa Belete is an unfair businessman. We know his dealings. He went to FIFA, funds, money. He got in trouble. He had partners to do the few storage. We know what happened. Musa Belete brought few in the road for money. We know what's happening. This is a man who has a steam and a dented character. We can't bring him into our political space. He wants a seat, but let him be an ordinary lawmaker. If Unity Party is going to do such a deal, it's going to tell us that Unity Party is not going to do right in correcting the wrongs that we see, and that in itself is unacceptable.
Okay. Thank you. Mickey, let's hear you on this.
Just like the previous my colleagues who spoke previously on the subject, I'm not a fan of that deal. Musa Belete, first of all, Musa Belete should not even be a representative. He shouldn't be a representative, let alone he should not come anywhere close to the seat of power in the legislature. Musa Belete stands for nothing. He stood for nothing in the past. He stands for nothing but himself. Like, there are too many shady deeds Musa Belete has been involved with. And I see people like Anthony talking about a debt is not a crime. First of all, you don't understand the nature of that. It was actually a crime. Something was put in his care for an intended purpose, and he siphoned the money for his personal use. That's theft. If you take something that doesn't belong to you or wasn't given to you, that's theft. That's why he had to pay it back in order for it that it's not termed to be a debt, but that's theft. So yeah. And besides that, we saw the whole issue about the road fund and the whole FIFA stuff. Those things do not speak well for a person to be in leadership. So first of all, is it a must that Unity Party have the speakership? Can they find a consensus candidate to go with? Do you have to make a deal with the likes of Musa Belete? As Raymond said, it doesn't speak good for the incoming government and the incoming legislature. You don't have to work. Look, if Kuhn doesn't have the number, you'll try to work a deal with somebody else who would be a consensus candidate that can probably, even if they are not a Unity Party a member, even if that person's an independent, but somebody of an outstanding character that at least.
But and you're right, and that's the point, Mickey. That's the point. This is about the numbers, Mickey. That's the point. This is about the number.
Yeah, then it's not a matter of must. Unity Party take the speakership. If you have to work with the likes of Musa
take the speakership.
let it go.
No. Let me do this. Take the speakership, or let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Work with the devil and take the speakership, and versus don't work with the devil and then you will not get the speakership. work with the devil, and then you get the speakership. Don't work with the devil, and you will not get the speakership. Where do you stand?
Don't work with the devil. The speakership is not a life and death situation. Listen, Nelson, let's understand this thing. After this speaker election, whosoever emerges as speaker will work with the executive. It depends on the engagement. Ambassador Burger, if Ambassador Burger, as we all know him to be a man of stellar character, he's going to engage the leadership of the legislature. You understand? He's going to engage them constructively. He will, to a larger extent, get what he wants to be done. So it's not like, oh, once a person who is not a member of the Unity Party becomes a speaker, that means everything is going to go at loggerheads. They're not going to work with the executive. I don't believe in that thing. But for you to sacrifice your reputation and your character on the altar of getting the speakership at all costs, I don't support that. Musa Benedict is not a character you should work with no matter what. I don't care. Just let the speakership go and try to find a consensus candidate. But it's not. Why are you working with character the Musa ability? I don't understand that. I don't.
Okay, thank you. Ture, let's hear you. Then we'll take Francis finally.
All right. So look, like I said, I agree with everybody position on this particular topic here, but this is my thing. Mickey, it is absolutely crucial that Unity Party win its speakership. Very, very, it helps a lot. It helps the new incoming administration get some level of leverage in the house, right?
Okay.
So make no mistake about that. Now, there's the situation here. There if I do, there if I don't. Either way, you have something to lose. Now, Musa ability, on the other hand, the man got what we call the Mogufi. The Kabagi there. The Kabagi is so there. My uncle Yeke already on a man bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? So you look at that, right? Uncle Yeke of all people, they may have come out, say he was Musa ability. You think what is taking Uncle Yeke over there?
Can you imagine?
That is Kabagi. That's what it is.
No.
All right. No. So look, in as much we can, I understand it's hard to swallow. To see some of the character that we have in our various upper and lower houses, you know what I mean, down there. Some are troubling, but nevertheless, it's gonna take leadership to be able to deal with some of these characters.
Thank you.
By virtue of the fact that they were voted in by their constituents, some of whom they are not educated, they are not informed, they don't know exactly what these guys are supposed to do. We're all gonna sit there with our frustration, but we still have to just swallow what that is until we can get to a point where people can actually be so educated, know exactly who to vote for and who not to vote for. But unfortunately, Mickey, we are not at that level right now. So we have to do our best, negotiate with the devil, negotiate with the angel, get to where you want to get to under of very unbearable circumstances, Mickey.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm telling you, look.
Wow.
Let me tell you.
Look, do you see this as
let me tell you.
a very beautiful path? Anyway,
look,
conclude.
Nelson, there are certain things in life that you will bite your tongue to do it. I know exactly how that thing can play out here, like especially in the US where I'm at. Do you know the thing that troubled President Obama in a place there? Because of the fact that they had a speaker here called John Bennett. You know that man, Mickey. You're a Republican man. You know exactly what that is. Obama could not do anything in a player, my man.
That is a lie. That is a lie.
That is a true. You know it.
That is a lie. Obama got all the gay rights passed. Everything the gay community wanted, it passed. They have.
What happened in his first term?
Bro.
His second term, it was not like that though.
Bro, that's
not a discussion. We can't divert the discussion to that.
No,
we gotta skip that, guys.
We are not
That's not a discussion, guys.
Okay.
Remember, we are not diverting. We are just saying.
Democrat and Republican.
Yeah, Obama got all the gay rights passed.
That was in the first term when the Republicans were not speaker. When the Republican became speaker, they blocked everything. They put on a screw wall.
So guys, let's make progress, right?
Let's
We gotta move to Francis. Francis needs to make his point. Prince, welcome to the show as well.
Let me get 10 seconds to land.
Yeah, okay, get 10 seconds to land. Just take 10 seconds. I won't go just ask him to give you 10 seconds to you land.
We're trying to make some of the comparison analysis between the United States and Liberia. By virtue of reality, we run the same form of government. It is what it is. All right. So it wouldn't make sense that would bring some of these things in. All right. I know it's far-fetched to even try to do that, but by the end of the day, it's the same exact thing. I'm just saying that. So it's easier for you to have a speaker than to have somebody that is in opposition.
Thank you. Francis, let's hear you on this latest, this breaking news coming from the camp of the Unity Party on this whole speakership thing, and then we'll hear from Prince and we go to the lines.
Yeah, I thought I was going to disagree with everybody before me, but at least Toure came on. I can agree with Toure for a little bit. We all agree that the likes of Musa Benedict and the other guys, they don't belong in Congress. Anybody with a criminal record don't belong in Congress, but they are there. And he even stand a chance of becoming speaker. That's a shame on our country. But with the new government coming in, the way our country has been going, we can't risk not having the speaker from the Unity Party. If it was any other place, Toure was right. In the U.S., people fight to get the speaker from the same party. Because if the speaker is from an opposition and try to stonewall, no bill will go to the floor for vote. They will just keep blocking these things. They'll just keep piling them up. And if they get piled up, the country cannot move. Things will not change.
I'm glad you changed your mind, Francis.
I'm sorry?
I said I'm glad you changed your mind.
Change my mind on what?
On the speakership coming from the same
I've never been against the speakership coming from the same party. I've never been against it. I'm for it because I know how Liberian people operate. And with all those millions of political parties we have in Liberia, who can you even trust that you will put outside of the CDC and Unity Party that will come in and do the right thing? And we don't even have those people making themselves available to say, okay, we can choose between John Brown or Mary Paul, who are not members of the CDC or Unity Party. But for now, we have to be strategic because we want Joseph Braga to come in. Because even when the speaker is from the Unity Party, all we want is the bills should be presented for floor vote. But if we got opposition and say, no, I'm going to stonewall and pile them up and not put them on the floor for food, nothing will change, nothing will happen. So we're not trying to risk that. We suffer too long. So at least that pathway should be there. So that's a great deal. Mr. Bill is already in the house. He's a criminal, he's already in the house. Why can't he be deputy speaker? What's the big deal?
Thank you. Thanks a lot. What's the big deal? He ends right there. Let's take you, Prince, and then we'll go to the line shortly, right after you. Let's hear you on this. Your 1 minute.
Well, though I just coming in, let me say good afternoon to my fellow panelists and then morning to you on your end. First and foremost is that Musa Bede going as the deputy speaker. You know, I always tell people, sometimes you play fool to gain wisdom. And in that Liberian community that we see as Liberia, that has a representative or representative. That same scenario played 2005. When he played 2005, money came to play. People spend money. Snow spend money. I mean, people Snow spend money massively. And he got there, he became the speaker. He was not in United Party. He was an opposition. It was Mother Ellis James Salif being the president at that time. But Snow crossed his bound. And when he crosses his bound, what happened? He was removed by the same group that put him there. So now, it's like we know the president has certain power that he can veto certain things, that even the speaker stopped the bill from passing. The president, President Clement said that he can say, you know what, the same thing that happened right in the country. When it happened Obama time, what happens? Obama had to cross President Clemency and put money out, give us what? Allowance. Give us 1,500, give us 700. Joe Biden, when it comes on, that same flow is going on. So what I'm trying to say is that as long we know that if we try to go back the route that we never wanted, that we spoke against, it hurts everybody. But now, the opposition will not care because they want your government to come down. Because if I'm the speaker, if Musa Bede is the speaker, and he has the bill along with the block from the opposition end to stop every bill that comes on the floor, believe in me, the common man will not understand what is going on. Now it will turn again Joseph Boakai and us that been propagating that Boakai-led government will be decent. So I would say we play devil advocate. Now, another thing, Liberians who elected these people can call them. They can call them to Palawan House to discuss the issue. Why are you guys voting this particular person? They can do that.
Okay.
That's the same scenario we say, because a bulk of the people that get into the race and in the house, they're not financially potent. So for that reason, they've been shipped away by money. That's what we keep saying. Liberians got to vote some people of substance. You think I want Musa Bede to go as the deputy speaker? How do they know? How do they know?
Thank you.
For such a time, such a condition, you live with it and you start it. When you start it, the same thing I point out deputy speaker, I think they can remove it from there as deputy speaker.
Thank you, sir.
You didn't me.
And Nelson,
you.
Let me ask a question to Prince and what he need Toure. If you start to bargain right now, where do you draw the line? Will you continue to bargain deep into the administration? Why, if Musa Bede becomes a deputy speaker and something is being placed on the floor that directly affects Musa Bede but is in the better interest of the country, will you go and bargain with Musa Bede again? Where do you draw the line?
All right, so let me get coming. First thing first, like what I just said, Mickey, how do any one of us sitting on this platform know that Musa Bede will be the deputy speaker or vote for him?
No, let's just take a scenario that he is.
But that's the deal. That's the deal. You can renege on the deal. The deal that the deal that
Mickey, it's not written in stone. I can say vote for you.
Then let's say it's not written in stone too that Musa Bede support you for the speakership too.
What I'm saying. And for you.
So we can't go that route. We agree right now to Musa Bede deal. Let's agree to the Musa Bede deal. Hypothetically, Musa Bede supports you to become a speaker, and you got to give something to, and in giving that thing is for him to become a deputy speaker. And I tell my point here is, if you start to bargain with the character of Musa Bede right now, where do you draw the line?
So Mickey, let me come in. Why do you think too Musa Bede is foregoing his interest of becoming a speaker to join forces with Unity Party to secure speakership? Don't you think he also looking at something? So how do you
he's looking at protecting,
I mean, of course.
He's
but
looking
now,
he's looking at protecting himself. Musa
Okay, so guys, let's do this. Let's do this. We have to go to the line. We'll come back to our closing
You and I can
certainly
agree
come
with
back
that
to do
meeting.
our closing.
So now they're where the politics come to play. All right.
We'll
So
certainly
politics
come
come to
back
play
to do
right
our
now.
closing.
That politics that will come to play then. Why it can't happen now?
You don't leave your hand in
will
the
not
lion more and slap
Well,
her
in
jaw.
the comment section,
do that.
Dr. Kelvin Jason says the president can get his policies implemented even if the House rejects it. Lynn Laporte says it is an unholy it is an unholy matrimony, but in politics you have to make unholy conclusions to get what you want. Well, these are some of the reactions in the comment section, but let's go to the lines and take some calls now. The WhatsApp number is there pinned on the screen, and folks out there, you can call 0555 in case you want to make your contribution on the show tonight. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. I'm Nelson Colette, and of course the rest of the team here. We're talking about trending national issues here, the things that are happening in Liberia now, like we're talking about. So let's talk to our first caller here. Hello.
Hello, Nelson.
Yes, sir. You're live. Your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you very much. You guys, I thank you so much. This conversation is very much prudent. But when it comes to this speakership, we in Liberia, first of all, I'm John Gitawe, I'm calling from Liberia.
Okay.
Okay. When it comes to the speakership in the House, I don't know that all of panelists, when you say that in Liberia, Liberians will not understand that if Joseph Boga explained that this guy is the one, the opposition, which he took the speakership, Liberians will not understand that. That is why the country is going this way.
Okay.
So we are saying that we understand on a different level.
Okay.
The speakership had to go with the incoming president.
And so you do you support Musa ability for deputy speakership, since in fact he's throwing his weight behind the Unity Party?
I support Musa ability supporting Richard Nangwe Kun as speaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't support Richard Nangwe Kun supporting Musa ability for deputy speaker?
Of course.
My man, no. You gotta be fair here. You want the man to support you to get your own thing you want, but you want to support the man for him to get your own thing you want, my man? Is that what you're saying?
Listen. Some people supported Joey already. You know, some people supported Joey, but Joey didn't win the election. That doesn't mean that Joey holds any content.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's hold you there.
Hello?
Take another person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call? Yes, sir. You're live. Let's hear you.
Hey, Nelson, how you guys coming on?
Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's been a very smart discussion, but I would love to say to you guys, you have to be smart. The guys in the house that they are playing a very careful game. Every one of them know.
Please say your name. Please say your name firstly and where you're calling from, sir.
Yeah, I'm Roman Law and calling from the U.S.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Now.
Okay, so the guys want to be very careful. One thing I have to say to everybody over there: politics does not have receipt. Political game does not have receipt. The guys are playing the game very well.
No receipt.
All of those guys are contesting. No receipt. A political game. If people show up, they will eat him.
Thank you.
If they show up, they will eat him.
Thank you.
Anybody to show up, they will eat them well.
Wow.
So that's what I can see. What happened to Prince Joseph for pay to play? The guys gotta be careful before they hit on it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
They know what is for him.
Thank you. Let's take another person here. Hello. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, it's Anthony.
Oh, Anthony.
It's Anthony.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear you, Anthony.
So here's the thing with the whole speakership, right? This thing right here is beyond, politician or beyond, our party mandate kind of thing. If you do not have the number, then you do something we call compromise in the House of Parliament. Musa Belede understands that he may not have the number to win the speakership, or he may have some number to negotiate for the deputy speakership. And if that's fair with him, you can do so. You can have your personal opinion about Musa Ability and all of that different things. Some of us are busy right now. They want to cut us out, so we're not going to go that route.
Okay.
Right? You can't come here and say, oh, you want to dance with the devil, you get a presidential and say, oh, the other person is a criminal, the other person is corrupt. Or you know how you got to the presidential. So let's put that one aside. In politics, you do things we call compromise. You have to compromise. The Obamacare today is not what the Democrats wanted. But they have to pass that bill in order for them to achieve
So Anthony, do you support Musa Ability for the deputy speakership? And what's your take on this latest decision?
Absolutely, from the CPB. You know what that means for my party?
Oh, so you're just playing the party card. You are just playing the party card. You're not looking at this from a patriotic standpoint, as a patriotic Liberian who is making an objective analysis of this thing. You're not doing that. You're playing the party card, Anthony, because you are from the CPP and you think Mr. Ability should be from.
Let's look at all the candidates right now who are seeking the speakership. Let's look at them. Funati Kofa, a convicted felon, right? So you bring the next person in line again. Who's the next person?
Richard Kuhn.
Musa Ability, right?
Richard Kuhn.
You have it.
Richard Kuhn.
My brother, he has tainted record.
What's the tainted record? No. What's the tainted record?
I don't have much time for that.
My man,
you got much time for Funati.
We will call Anthony off right there because the man wants us on in that.
Let's take a call. That's what that is.
Hello, let's take this person.
Good morning, Nelson.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is Biati. I call you from Hotel Africa Road this morning.
Go ahead, sir.
It's a critical time in our country and a critical decision. Like someone said before, in the interest of America, we shake hands with murderers, and exactly Liberia is today. It's very, very difficult to make the decision, but we have to make the decision. As a matter of fact, I'm from the Youth Party. I would never, ever want to see Musa Ability anywhere around critical decision like this. But when you are faced with this kind of decision, the decisions that come in the interest of the people become the priority. And that priority at this point is to have the speaker on our side. So if we have to swallow this Kojorobo call Musa Ability to cross this water, we have to do it.
Wow.
It's very tough. But
so that Kojorobo, but you still swallow that Kojorobo, you close your eyes, swallow it because you want to cross the water.
Water which is in the interest of the Liberian people. If you don't do this, because you want to place and you want to satisfy those people who are called what you call it, the rifleman game, when you get stuck, they're not going to save you. They're not going to help you. In fact, they will start to tell you that you are incompetent. So we have to make a decision in the interest of the Liberian people. Yes,
thank you.
We're going to receive some stones.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Some lashes is okay.
Thank you.
But let's make the decision in the interest of the Liberian people.
Let's hold you there. And thank you.
Yes, we deal with the rest of the issues that will come later on. But right now, let's put the speakership on our side.
Okay, let's take this person. Please walk away from your radio. Just reduce the volume as you make a point. You're live. Let's hear you, sir.
Yes, hello. My name is Henry Elliott. I'm calling from Iron Gate.
Okay.
Montserrat County. Yeah, talking about this speaker. Let's assume that Musa Ability becomes speaker. It will be difficult to get rid of him, except we go through his constituents and have him recalled. So we need to organize. But besides the point, for this particular point, what if we give Musa Ability his desire and he becomes deputy speaker, and by some means, whatever the situation, and we lose our speaker, he becomes the speaker.
The speaker, the third man in command in the country.
Yeah, we would be in a complete doo-doo. I don't think Musa Ability
will be in a what?
Anywhere near power. Doo-doo.
What is doo-doo?
Doo-doo means caca.
What is caca?
The thing that comes from your, the
Oh,
things
okay.
that you
No,
put in the
no.
commode.
Keep asking.
Okay,
Keep
okay,
asking
okay.
questions.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. Let's hold you there and take another person. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you, sir.
Well, this is S. Gibson calling from Balanceville.
Okay, Mr. Gibson.
Yeah,
Let's hear your take on this issue.
yeah, okay. First of all, let me thank you guys for this discussion. And I think, politics is a dirty game, a very much dirty game. I remember when Honorable Eugene Falabaka was leaving herself as chairman for his group because he wanted to become a speaker. Later on, he said, all right, let's bargain for a deputy speakership. We went there at the house, and then the speaker election is here first.
Yeah.
Then later on, they go for section, maybe about 2-3 hours. So they bargain. They say, okay, let's get a speakership to this guy, and the person won it. After 2-3 hours, they came back. I saw my man face change, and I said, the guy will not take it again because he had the numbers. Look, these people want to play political game. Let them play the game. Let them encourage Musa Belede to support Richard Kun. After elections, they go down 1, 2 hours, 3 hours after the break. They come back, they can kick it out.
They can kick who out?
Musa Belede out.
So
My friend,
that would be deception. That would be deception. You can't give your word. No, listen now. You can't give your word to the man. Then you come back after you get elected. Then you say you kick the man out. Now listen to this. Thank you very much. You can just listen to this. Check this.
The essence of this gathering is to acknowledge of the fact that today the legislative bloc of the Union Party is Alliance have agreed to work with Honorable Musa Ability of the CPP. We have come over a merger to make sure that both bloc end up producing the leadership of the House. In detail will accompany later. Thank you.
They've decided to work with chairmanability. They've decided that merger will produce the leadership of the House. We'll take 2 more calls and then we'll just wrap up on this one. We'll come back to you to do your closing. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling for some public.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Abi Harry. Let me tell you something. The people kind of play their card good. And you want the speaker position and position, the Union Party people, Musa Berete, no, that he can change. We will work with him. I definitely no, nothing. Because we need the way people don't know politics. I can say you select the man, you kick the man. It makes sense that the way you probably can work with people.
Thank you.
But we just get a speaker, go as speaker. Musa Berete can go as deputy say good. Please, I beg you, we don't want that hot to we don't want nobody to opposition to take that speaker position.
But if Chairman Belete takes the position,
be good. But you say Musa Berete that Yoruba, Musa Berete that is Musa Berete that he be. Look, let me tell you, the thing they will CPP break away how they call Liberty Party. It will not work over there.
Thank you.
We need number.
Thank you. Let's
Musa Berete will finish.
Thank you. Let's hold you there and take this person. Hello. Yeah, finally. Go ahead.
My name is Marcus Swa.
Swa, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Call to inform the panelists. When Union Party wanted the presidency, they supported evil person in terms of Prince Johnson because we have one goal to remove George Weah. So we supported Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson gave us the vote.
You say Prince Johnson is an evil person?
But Prince Johnson got character in Liberian politics. He don't have character in Liberian
They
politics.
make it get character. It depends on how you interpret the character that but everybody get character. It just
let me
it
go
depends
on.
on okay, but go ahead. Everyone has a character. Yeah.
So So when Unity Party won the presidency, they supported Prince Johnson, who has been said a lot about in the Liberian politics. Now, Unity Party, if you look at the speakership election, you will notice that there's a two-horse race. Kun versus Fonati Kofa.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the one side of the coin, Fonati Kofa has a dense character in terms of holding leadership in the Unity Party government. And then Kun is a lesser evil. Now, supporting Kun for the speakership, and they can play the same advocates and support Musa Belete support them. And then they get this because otherwise, either Kun or Fonatikova will win the speakership. That one is stepping it.
Thank you.
So,
thank you, sir.
So, all right.
That's what you're there. So, we'll have to do our closing on this. Prince, let's hear you, sir. Just take your 1 minute to do your closing.
Nelson, what made me laughing?
No.
We gotta go. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dennis. All right.
That's part of this game. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
You can play it anyway. You're good at it, Nelson. Look, you see, the thing there is that, Nelson, the speakership, we all praying to God so that, Unity Party can hold it because it's important, very much important. We know that ability should not in a real country that has rule of law, and the people know who to vote for by constituent, not depending on what the person has. Obviously, Musa Bete will not going to win election, but against such a terrible condition, the people served for 6 years. So Musa won there with cash. He dominated with cash. So people had voting in. They should have in my country. So he won it. Then now we're talking about the deputy speakership. Well, that's what the other guy just said. Agree. The speakership, we're fighting for it. They will let us get it. They will go for recess to come back to it for the deputy speaker. I'm not saying that people will not vote for him, but anybody can change anytime, Nelson. You're not in stone. I could walk there and say, my mind changed. I'm not voting for you. I agree. I promised to vote for you before I deputy speaker, but my mind changed. You understand?
Thank you. Thank you.
So again, I will always say the Nigerians need to call the law.
Thank you.
To collaborate hot discussion. Call them, ask them. What the reason you want to vote for this? Why?
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Let's take you, Josh. Let's just go by the queue now and do our
Yeah,
closing.
look, thank you so much, gentlemen, and I really appreciate to be back on, to be allowed back on. So here's the thing, and I will just make it very snappy, right? And I will also touch this speakership position. I don't know why Unity Party is jittery about who becomes the speaker. The speaker is a one-person position. They don't determine whether laws are passed or not laws are not passed. The voting is done amongst the lawmakers. The speaker does not determine which law passes or not. So I don't know why they're jittery about this. But look, it just tells you how inept these people are. They just want to grab everything. It's like a winner takes all they want to do to just impose themselves on the Liberian people, whatever they want to do, that's what's going to happen. They won't have anyone to oppose them or anybody to reject anything about them. And that's what it is. And it should concern every Liberian. If a party is so desperate to take all of the leadership in the country, to take the Senate pro tem, to take the speaker, to the presidency, and maybe they will put their own judge there as well to head all the places so that whatever happens in the country is all what they want to see happen, not what the Liberian people want. It's sad, but that's where we are right now. We can't do anything about it, but we're hoping that those in the House who are elected by the people, duly elected by the people, whatever character they take there, look, the people knew them, they knew exactly what they have done, and they still voted for them. So I think the Liberian people should listen to them and they should vote and make sure that whoever will be the head of the representative, which is the speaker, that person should be somebody who can stand up for the Liberian people, somebody who can make sure that the voice of the Liberian people is heard. The last thing I want to say is I want to speak on this thing that happened with in a court with one of the lawyers. I think her name is Kuku Double, right? I want to make something clear here.
She said that Mayor Koji threatened her, and I think you followed the discussion last evening.
Yeah, I followed that. And look, it's so pathetic. And this is ridiculous for a lawyer. I don't know whether she ever sat in court before. If she has done so before, she shouldn't have been making those sort of statement. People look at lawyers and even insult them. And she said gesture to her, it threatened her life. Then that woman go and find place to say that if she's not being paid for the thing she's doing, maybe that's why she's so, look luster about it. She should make sure that she knows her position. She said he stared at her. She stared back at him. And then she said, what are you looking at me for? Talk about nonsense. Who talks about that in the court? It's just so ridiculous. As the woman, she want to try the case in the public. It makes no freaking sense what she was saying. And it's so ridiculous that people even have to even listen to her. This is ridiculous.
But
it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. I don't know.
Who was raising
it's
concern.
So mind-boggling.
This lady was raising concern about threats on her life. She said not only did Mayor Jefferson Koji look at
3 minutes,
with that kind of eye, but he also told her that you will see. Isn't that a threat? Isn't that worth raising concern? I mean, and anyway,
Nelson,
we have to.
Nelson, no, let me just say very briefly.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Thank you. Let me just say briefly. You know, when people are without any tangible thing to say, they go all around looking for cases. In the court, where everyone is there sitting down, including many other lawyers, she said in that midst, Jefferson Koji told her, you will see. If it makes sense to you, it doesn't make sense to anybody who got sense that Jefferson Koji will sit there and then look in the crowd and tell somebody in the crowd, say, you will see. Knowing everything that is happening in the country right now, that lady is lying. If she doesn't have anything to say or to add to that case, just go and sit at home and watch TV because that's the only sense she can make. It doesn't make no sense.
Okay, thank you. It doesn't make sense to you, but it makes sense
to
me.
Right?
It doesn't make sense to any sensible person. No sensible person will make sense to with threatening on her life.
You said it doesn't make sense. Then you said to any sensible person.
Yeah, to anybody who gets sense.
Okay,
no,
go ahead.
Gullible people.
Okay, George, I got the floor.
Princess, go ahead.
Just for 5 minutes.
George is very dishonest. When he come on here, he try to give half truths. You see, if Nelson had not called him out, first he said a lady lies, she said he's gesture. But he left out the part, even if it's true or not. But the lady clearly said, he said, you will see. And that's a threat. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, but that's what she said. But he conveniently left that part out so that people can say, oh, just a gesture, what it is. Gesture can also mean threat, but it
I said it. That's what she said. He said. She said.
I didn't interrupt you. I let you carry on your lies. Let me come and report. I didn't interrupt you.
Carry on your lies too.
So just be quiet, please. Let me go.
Don't interrupt the brother.
He conveniently left that out. He conveniently left that part out. And Lady Clinton said, he said, you will see. Whether it's true he said it or not, but that's what he said. But he conveniently left that out so he can lie. Then the next thing again, he came talking about, people, Unity Party are in F, they want to have all the position. What did George say anything about the CDC? When they had the president and the speaker, did he say anything? No. It's very important, let me tell you something. They don't kind of lie and say, yes, you can vote to pass a bill. But the speakership is very important because the speaker can delay the bills coming to floor vote. They can delay that. The speaker has a lot of power. So he don't let anybody sit there and make it seem like it's not a big deal, especially coming from this corrupt criminal government. There are a lot of work that needs to be done, and Joseph Barker doesn't have the time to be going around lobbying votes here and there, or even trying to see if the bill will come to floor vote in the first place. Because when the bill comes to the floor and they vote it down or vote it up, then you can go and start negotiating and making things happen. But first, it has to come to the floor for a vote. So don't let anybody make this thing look like a simple issue. We need that speakership for Joseph Barker to be able to get his agenda going for the country.
10 seconds, Nelson. Just 10
Prince, I
seconds.
thought they are closing. Okay, take 10 seconds quickly.
Thank you.
Just 10 seconds when you finish, please.
You're not taking any 10 seconds against George.
When it was in your favor, you were smiling, you were the darling girl. But now it shifts into somebody else's favor. George want to ask the question. The other party want the speakership. They want the pro tem. They want the George. Where were you, George? Where were you? When the whole government, the 6 years, was ran exactly by the Southeast. The Senate pro tem.
That whole travel thing, let's drive away from that.
The IG. The Chief Justice.
Thank you, Prince. Thanks a lot. 20 seconds exhausted. 20 seconds exhausted.
Speaker of the House.
To read the floor is yours. 20 seconds exhausted. No, but Prince, you're not doing fair to honor, Chief. You also come with a listing. Then you're not be looking in the air. Papa Chima, they look in the air.
But look, Nelson, I've been consistently consistent that when I say I like George, I like George. You see, George bring a lot of component to this platform. Make no mistake, right? I mean, it is so convenient that George can come here and tell us that Unity Party is trying to get everything so that they can't have any contention. Bro, where were you from the last 6 years, my dude? Where were you? So look, I mean, I know for the sake of entertainment, which of course we, and to be ridiculous sometimes is good. So George, we appreciate your participation on the midnight panel. Thank you very much. But let me say this. It is so important to have a speaker come from your party, right? Make no mistake. Look, some people can deliberately, even some building that makes sense, they will hold that thing back because they want to punish you some kind of way. It happened. And George, you say people can insult lawyers, judges, maybe Australia, but you can't do that. Yeah, my man. These are people that can bury you literally. So you don't want to mess with them. All right.
I didn't say George. I said lawyers. Lawyers.
Lawyer, whatever. George, lawyer. All right, lawyer.
You can insult lawyer. They can do nothing to you.
All right. So look, let me say this, my people. As we conclude, we understand sometimes we get into different marriages and stuff like that to seeing what we can get from it. But once we get into these uncompromising times, sometimes you just swallow the bitter pill to getting this arrangement. Once you get there, you know now how to maneuver through and still keep your head in the right place. All right.
Thank you.
Just because I'm going to negotiate to get into something by compromising some of my very integrity in the line of doing that, when I get there, I know exactly
you face your integrity.
I know exactly what to do. It is hard, and I know where Mickey is coming from. Mickey is a very, very straightforward man. If I know anything about this brother, he's very straightforward. No cutting corner, nothing.
He's big against Prince Johnson.
But that Mickey, I don't think our country have gotten to that point where we can just drive like that straight and not try to bend a little bit. We have to bend a little bit.
There's got to be curves on the road.
Still maintain our integrity.
Thank you,
Mickey. Thank you very much.
Let's move to Mickey. Mickey, let's
hear you. For Prince Johnson to be the Senate pro tem.
That is just 20 seconds, please.
Nobody give me 20 seconds. You're not going to monopolize.
You talk for 8 minutes.
Yeah,
Judge, we gave
Mickey, you are just a panelist like me. You are just a panelist. just keep quiet when I'm speaking to the man. No, if I'm speaking to him, just keep quiet.
Listen, guys.
You're just apparently like me.
Everyone
Yeah,
has
you are just apparently like me. You are just apparently like me.
Guys,
you are just apparently. I got a right to ask for time if I want to ask
Nelson
for
is just
time.
too wrong
I
that you
have
will
the
keep
time to ask
George
for time if I want to ask for
interrupting the
time.
show and you be laughing. Nelson, if you can't keep George in check, it's not right for.
Guys, just stop.
You will mute me when Josh talking. You will not mute Josh.
No, but
Or
I
when I
muted
start talking
everyone.
truth to you, then you start muting me.
No,
George has
Nelson,
come is keep
Nelson,
interrupting the show and you keep laughing.
We're already closing the show.
We're not closing the show when Josh keep interrupting.
It's
You
important.
keep tolerating Josh.
Nelson, I got the right to ask for time. Everyone does. You cannot tell me when to ask for time.
Yeah,
Josh will entertain us.
I got the time. I can ask for time. I can ask for time.
He unmuted himself.
Okay, so Mickey, you have the floor. Take your 1 minute 30 seconds and do your closing, Mickey. You are muted. Can you unmute?
I remain quiet when George was speaking. Did not interrupt.
So everybody
else spoke. I did not
Everyone
interrupt.
else should remain quiet.
I never interrupted.
Mute your microphones. Let's have Mickey to do his closing. Mickey,
And
go ahead.
nobody on this show is a dependent of George. That he can open his mouth and tell them to keep quiet or shut up.
Look, I will talk now. I will talk. This guy cannot tell me what to do. No, listen to him. Listen to him. Tell me to open my mouth. No. You are not putting me in the back. If you put me in the back, I will never come back here. Because he cannot speak to me like that. He cannot speak to me like that. Tell him, he cannot speak to me like that.
You keep interrupting the show every time you come. You don't come here to listen to your shenanigans.
No, listen, guys, let's do this.
Just shut up.
Listen,
Raymond, shut up.
You shouldn't be on the show with us.
Shut up. Shut up. I got it right the same right you got. I got it here. Nonsense.
You should be having discussion, not chat.
You really have to take control of this stuff.
No,
you let George speak more than everybody. Then when people speaking, you want to be interrupting, and you let him keep going and going and going. That's not right.
Guys, that's
not right. It's annoying.
Mickey has his time. Please, when Mickey speaks, after Mickey, if anyone has an injection to make, you can go ahead and do that. But please, no interruption. When Mickey
but Nelson, excuse me. You should speak to the issue, not speak to me. If you want to address me like that, I will talk.
No, listen. Josh,
you speak to everybody where Mickey what makes you think you're so special?
No, guys, let's do this. In the case where Mickey is making his point, he's doing his closing and he speaks to you.
Jesus,
and wait after Mickey, you will come, you make the clarity of what have you, but it will not be fair to have you interrupting Mickey. So Mickey has time. Let us all mute our microphones, and that's what we do.
That's what we do here all the time. If someone call your name,
called your name, wait. When the person is done, you can go ahead and
Nelson, it should not be disrespectful. If you want to make a point, but don't insult me. Don't insult me. Don't be disrespectful. If you're disrespectful to me, I will be disrespectful.
So let's do this. Mickey, go ahead, guys. I don't want to. I don't want to.
First of all, let me just ask George, how was I disrespectful to you? Are you that time for him to answer? It's part of my time. How was I disrespectful to you?
You made a statement. You say no one is dependent of George here, and George can come here and open his mouth. You know what?
That's not what I said.
That's what you said.
Not what I said. No, let me tell you what I said.
You said you cannot tell him open your mouth. That's what you said. That's
no,
what you said.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
We have somebody telling you say open your mouth. You always say
let me just correct something here. George, I give you time.
You are not a moderator. Just wait. You are not a moderator. You are interrupting as well. You are interrupting by saying what you're saying.
And the viewers are here too. You gotta respect people.
George, I give you time to
start. Okay, no, Mickey, you're not giving time to Josh again.
No, I just telling him I respected him enough to give him a part of my time to speak. That's not what I said to you. I said nobody is a dependent of George for him to come here and tell people to be quiet or to shut their mouths. That's what I said. I'm saying you shouldn't tell us that. I'm not telling it to you. I'm not saying you shut your mouth. I said you should not tell us to shut our mouths. That's what I said to you. But because you probably want to have a back and forth conversation to make yourself relevant or important. That's why you're saying that. But I digress. Let's get to the subject under discussion.
Yeah, do your close.
Everybody can see right through you. It is embarrassing for you to, what do you even stand for? For you to come on this show and tell people that Unity Party wants the speakership, they want the deputy, they want Eric. You supported a government that have from top to bottom, everything was CDC. What moral ground you stand to come here and preach against something like that?
None.
You stand no moral ground. And for you to even sit here and tell people nobody of a sound mind will listen or believe
Yes,
or
an insult.
support what the lawyer said,
Exactly.
it's laughable. Because nobody in the right mind, no rational person will support a George Weah to be president. But you did. You did. So you will not come here and insult the intelligence of people. Everybody on this show here, we are educated people. For you to come here and try to insult people's intelligence, we will not stand for that. You a logical person supported a nitwit, an inept person to be president, and you defended it. You campaigned. You have read that sickening message of his. And you come here to tell people no logic, no sound person will believe what the woman said. And you supported somebody like a George Weah to be president. No rational or sound person would support a George Weah to be president of a country, especially not after his first term that he performed dismally. So when you come here, you should respect other people. I did not insult you. I said you shouldn't come here and tell people to shut their mouths. That's what I said to you. I did not say, George, shut your mouth. No, you misunderstood what I said. So going forward, you have to be responsible in your conversation with your friends. You will not be interrupting people outside there quiet. I did not respond to you, or I did not interrupt you. So you should return the favor. We are all responsible people here. Please.
Are you done, Mickey?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Raymond, you have the time.
Nelson, please,
to do
after,
your
please
closing.
give me some time to address that as well, just to make sure I make my 20 seconds, please.
Everyone have the time to do that closing. So Raymond, go ahead.
Under our laws, intimidation in any form in court is a misdemeanor. No person is allowed to intimidate another party in court. There are two ways we communicate: through signs or through verbal. And another way is written. So you can communicate with people through verbal. In America, you can sexually harass a lady just by your looks. So under the laws and under logic and understanding in a civilized society, these are the norms. Jefferson Koji, not only by his actions, but his words and deeds, have intimidated people. He's being indicted for war crimes. This is an individual in a criminal murder case. Is there and a judge feels intimidated and a female in our right? So this speaks volume.
A lawyer. She is not the judge. She's
I said a lawyer. Okay, slip of tongue. A lawyer and a female at that rate has been claiming intimidation. And you could tell from her words after she spoke, she was passionate about what she said. She felt it. And this is a guy who wields power. He got people under his command as a mayor of Monrovia. These are the issues the Liberian people voted against. And so even the speaker election, we need not to have CDC.
Can we all mute? I'm getting a feedback while Raymond is speaking. I think it's from you, Amy. Okay, go ahead, Raymond.
CDC have wield power in our country for 6 years. What has it amount to? Nothing. Even with the speakership. The deputy speaker, what did he do? What advocacy? Nothing. We don't need him around our powers. But the United Party have to be able to find a way to resolve this thing in a way that shows their leadership and what they represent as a government. Because we can't have business as usual. We know all the bribery that took place in the House of Representatives. If we want to change things in Liberia, we have to change it for the good. And you can't say go and vote. Those kind of deception, that's not a trait of a good leader. When you tell someone to come support me and then later you stab them in the back. Look, Musa Ability is going to form a block if whether he uses money. Becoming a speaker and everybody don't support your agenda is still digging hole for yourself. So Unity Party have to find a way to lead an ethical leadership. We're not looking for any kind of maneuvering in the name of politics. That got Liberia where it is, and that's even a recipe for corruption. When you be deceptive, when you become a liar and a cheat, you're not a good leader, and I don't stand for such. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Amy, you want to do your closing?
Yeah, why not? Okay, I will start from Sametwe. He said that, what is the quote that he said? My glory, morning transformed into a pitch dark night, evening, right? And then he blamed the sanction also on the misinformation his enemies has won and all of that. You know, it reminds me of people whenever we do something and it caught up with us, we always blame the devil. Or is the devil is after me, or is the work of the devil, or whatever. Some interested in that all of what he has done, he probably, because they don't respect the Liberian people, so they never shook whenever these people were crying for bad governance and all of that. But all of a sudden, the U.S. said your children cannot stay in the United States, and Summitua is passing all over the place, having press conference. He never did that when Liberian people said, oh, he done that MAPA exercise, 16 billion or whatever, and all of that. This is the thing that we talk about, like our government had no respect whatsoever for Liberian people. They said that, oh, the U.S., we are a sovereign country. You are a sovereign country, but the people that you claim to be leading, you have no respect for them. When they speak, you don't respect them. They have to be, foreigners have to come and tell you something. They have to speak before you start shivering, because those are the ones you respect. Those are the ones you go and beg for money. You don't see yourself as a sovereign country at the time when you're begging them for that money, and then when they try to hold you accountable for that taxpayer money, then the devil is busy, or they cause war here and there. They do their one, they kill people, they do that. Then you and your supporter have all the nonsense to spew out of your mouths. But thank God that we said Uncle Sam does not listen to an individual or people just opening their mouth to say, oh, this one happening, and they just go ahead and go with the flow. Whenever the JMB government come to power, they will give them evidence that the Liberian people desire to prosecute these people. And thank God, his children are not going to go to prison with him. They are not going to die, nothing. They're just going back home to go enjoy the hard work that daddy did, putting the Liberian economy on track, being the best in the region and all of that he boasts about, and how he took them out of poverty, 25 million. So if he got 3 children, then not 25 and 3 million people he would take out of poverty now. When he got 5 children, not 25 and 5 million people. So that's not a bad thing. So like I said, I felt bad when he said that about his kids, but I didn't say I feel bad for them to all stay in the United States. A lot of people and a lot of fathers in Liberia, they had a glorious money that's turned into a pitch dark night, thinking about their children food, school fees, when you did a harmonization and all of that. They try to harmonize your children stays in America. That's not a big deal. That's your favorite word. You like it. So let's not start going around and stop lying to the Liberian people. You and your supporters coming here blaming the United States, and people saying this, and how other people saying that the moment you work in the government, Liberian people are so blind and so stupid. All of a sudden, they just turn out and say, oh yeah, you corrupt because you're working in government. That is so sickening. For us to claim that we're so intelligent and everybody else stupid, they don't have reasoning, but we come here and tell people stuff like that. We need to stop it and love our country and be honest with people. hold ourselves accountable and start coming here and saying that other people are not thinking, they are not rational, when we ourselves, we are so biased, we're not being honest with ourselves.
Thank you.
And tonight, Nelson, we are here to talk for Liberia because the election is over. We respect George is here. We are all human. We don't. Nobody's saying, "Oh, George should leave." George is, but to be honest with you, what Raymond said is true. George do a lot of things here that insult people and something you would never put it in the back, and you would never meet. When you mute him, he would unmute himself. But he would stay on here and still be disturbed. Even the audience, they will be saying it. They'll be disturbed about his behavior. But he would get free ride every time. Let's be honest with George. You are right here, and that is the truth. And you need to stop it. You got the mind to come in and telling people to shut up. You're telling people they don't make any sense. You're telling people they are not rational. But the moment somebody said a little bit something, oh, he insulted me. What makes you think you're the only human being who should have, who deserve respect here? You gotta stop that, dude. Stop it. We are all human. We need respect. We owe it to each other. So I hope this should be the last time because you rather do it a lot of time. And we need to stop that for the sake of the audience as well. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Amy. And yes, I can understand that. In these conversations, there are points when there are times when it will get tense, based on the different views that we all shared on issues. Yes, there are times that the disagreements will get to another level, but it shouldn't get to a point where it becomes embarrassing for us on the show and even for the audience. And I've always said this, that we do this for our country, we do this for the audience, we do this for the thousands of people who will cut their sleep off just to watch this show. Some of them hereafter they will come and watch. But tomorrow morning you come back, you see over 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 persons have taken up their precious time to come and watch this show. And it's important to also know that we own radio. We own several radio stations across the country, so many platforms online, and it's just not fair to have us creating this kind of embarrassing scene for our audience all the time. And we have rules on the show. Please, let me say this again. If you were making any point and I muted you, it simply means that yes, you should hold on while the person who has the floor continues. But if I mute you and then you go and unmute, and then I mute you, you go and unmute, then it just gets the whole thing out of hand, please. And it's not a good thing to keep putting people in the background and stuff like that. It doesn't sit well. I hope we can work on it as we continue doing what we do as service to our country. Again, I want to say thanks to everyone tonight. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Prince. Thank you, Francis. Thank you to Ray. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Amy. Mobile was here. And I want to say thanks to everyone for being here tonight. Thanks to our audience.
So Nelson, I'm asking for 20 seconds,
You're not
right?
getting no 20 seconds. Not getting no 20 seconds.
When I get 20 seconds, I get the next 20 seconds, then the time finish. But George,
Nelson, you gave Prince 20 seconds while people were talking. Give Prince 20 seconds. Look, if you guys want to make this show about Unity Party and nobody else should come there, I will stay away.
Don't come, George.
Because you were talking, you gave Prince 20 seconds. He talked. I asked for 20 seconds. You said, "Do I think it's 20 seconds?" It's not fair. This is not a Unity Party platform.
He's not getting no 20 seconds.
It's not. Nelson,
let's do it. Let's close it. If you come
Nelson, with all fairness, we said when someone mentions your name, you should at least be giving 20 seconds or 30 seconds to.
And
that's the thing. And that's the thing.
I mean, look,
I don't know.
We can say you got to go, but tomorrow you can give George a 30 seconds. I think that's fair.
No. Correct. There's one thing to someone say and then you want to respond, but nothing to be disrespectful to the platform. So you're not getting no 20 seconds tonight. He can get out. I'll keep disturbing until Nelson can turn it off. This may be very disrespectful.
I don't know.
Gentlemen, it's not weakness when you
No, it's
pay bad
annoying.
behavior with good deeds. That's
Exactly.
weakness on
It's
your
annoying.
side.
But
George
talk
has
to my
been
attorney.
disrespectful to our audience,
But acting
to
like he's
us,
quiet.
and even
so
to the
let's-
show. Look,
let's-
guys, if George continued this attitude, I will not be coming on this show. I don't come on this show
But you know
to
what?
get
Nothing.
angry.
I'll tell you on the
I
open
come on this show
platform.
to
You
have a
keep
discussion.
engaging with George back and forth when you
If
even
there's going to be George attitude, I would rather stay away from this show. If we can't have
let's do
our
this. I want to say
discussion
thanks to
and
everyone.
good behavior, I would stay from this show because of George.
Thanks to everyone. We appreciate you. We sincerely appreciate all of your points on the show, and we look forward to getting everyone to live by to stick to the rule of the show. I mean, we have a rule. Like, I think every single person here is guilty of this thing where you'll be talking, you're muted, and sometimes you're mute. You're talking, you go above the time, and you know, it's something that we all trying to work on. So let's do this together, guys. And I want to say thanks to all of you again. Josh, you said you wanted to make a quick correction. I want you to jot down that.
You gotta put me in the back. But
No, it's okay, Nelson. Bye bye. See you guys. Bye bye.
I will not be here and let George say anything into the live.
No, guys, stop
Not
that.
gonna happen.
Just jot down that point, and we can start from there tomorrow. We're already out of time. We're seriously out of time, and we have to go. I want to say thanks to all of you, man. Let's hope we can have a great show again tomorrow. Thanks to our audience. Thanks to all of you watching, listening to the show across the world. We appreciate you, and bye-bye for now.
But Nelson. So tomorrow we're discussing global musical issue or what?
So you want to have another discussion at this time?
No. Yesterday, I went on the show, but I was listening to the show, watching the show, and he said, "Welcome to discussion today." But anyway,
yeah, no, there are details coming up on that.
Okay,
and we would love to have Mr.
All of
Scott
the
here,
facts, eh?
our brother, to come on to give some more information, but there are details we're gathering as well with respect to that. So we want to make sure that when we're doing it, we're on top of it. Yeah. But thanks a lot. I appreciate all of you. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good night, guys.
I'm anyway in the place.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy